Hello and welcome to the Sonic Board Podcast. I'm your host, Deoxys Prime, and joining me on this reunion edition of the podcast, we got Frank.
Hi, holy fuck! It's been like years since we did this.
We got Funk.
Hello.
We got Matt.
Yo.
We got Colin.
Yeah, the gang's all here.
Including DL.
Hi.
That's not DL, that's Kenny.
We're not doing that on this podcast.
Oh, okay.
We're saving that for the anime podcast. But yeah, this is the first Sonic Board podcast we've done in a year and a half. And little known fact, none of us have spoken to each other at all during that period of time. So so how's life, guys? How's it going?
We just have independently played Mario 64 all at the same time.
We're off to a great start.
Brutal.
Ooh.
Well,
The Wake Mule.
because we're the Sonic Board podcast, we are obligated to talk about Sonic.
Oh, man.
Are we?
We are. You know how
this
it
was a
goes.
mistake.
So let's talk about Sonic Forces and
Can we
the
just skip
original
the next thing on your itinerary?
character creator.
I can't even say it.
I know
Look, we all
Colin's...
know that Steve has so many just OGs he's waiting to get out into the world.
Not as many as
OG's
Colin.
original gangster.
I think Colin is low-key excited for this.
Really? That's kind of interesting. I'm not particularly excited. I think, wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I stepped away from my mic for a little bit. Anyway, so I feel like this is actually, everyone seems like, oh, this is such a great decision on Sega's part, you know? And isn't this like 10 years too late?
Yeah. This
Probably.
would have been a lot more applicable to the edgy phase that we had in the mid 2000s for this franchise.
It's actually surprising how many hangers-on we have for that kind of Sonic storytelling.
It was the best.
It was actually the best.
It was the
What
best.
era are we talking about here? Like what
So
game?
it starts with Sonic Adventure.
Okay.
Yeah,
so-
Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes. It includes the Sonic Advance games, Sonic Battle, because they all have like an overarching like mythos to them.
Oh, do they?
They do actually.
They
yeah.
do, yes.
They're all very connected.
Does Emerald ever appear in Station Square? Is
Listen.
that how interlinked these are?
Did Emerald find the hidden Gamma elevator?
Don't forget Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that was in canon with this.
Hey, wait a minute. What if Sonic Forces is the direct sequel, the direct follow-up to where Sonic Chronicles ended?
What
my
if they
God.
get the same composer that they got from Sonic?
Oh man.
Remember when BioWare made a Sonic game?
Yeah, let's try not to.
It was
recall
not
that.
bad. The music.
What could
the
go
music
wrong?
was,
I
though.
mean, BioWare has such a great pedigree.
They did at the time. That was before they kept shooting themselves in the face.
Yeah.
Is that the metaphor?
Do you have a better one?
Maybe in the foot?
Yeah, but I feel like, Mass Effect 3, that doesn't, I don't think the foot properly encompasses what that game was. Not to mention the whole Dragon Age series.
Dragon Age has always been terrible.
The Old Republic.
BioWare
let's-
has
let's
secretly just
forget.
always not been that good.
Yeah, I think that's it, Matt. I think that's really it.
The only game I've ever really loved from them was like the first Mass Effect, and I really liked Mass Effect 2. And I don't think Mass Effect 3 is actually horrible. The ending is horrible, but there's quite a bit to like about the game still. But
Well, I mean, KOTOR was good.
KOTOR was legitimately good. And that's about it.
So, because KOTOR was good, you guys think Sonic Forces is going to be good?
Yeah. So back to Sonic Forces. The biggest
BioWare's a much more interesting story than Sonic.
Yeah, but
Forces.
we've covered that a lot over the years.
Yeah.
What, BioWare?
Yeah.
How often have we discussed BioWare?
We could sit here and complain about BioWare for the entire podcast.
That's probably better than what we have planned.
Yeah.
Shut up!
Hey, by the way, that's not to say that the ending is the only horrible part of Mass Effect 3. Just saying. Just don't misinterpret that as I like Mass Effect 3 until the
Oh,
ending.
Colin loves Mass Effect 3.
Listen, I just need to know whether you guys are gonna be a wolf, a rabbit, or whatever the other 5 animals
I
were.
want to be a bear.
No, what are
Because
they?
nobody's gonna
what's the
pick
list?
bear.
No, anybody who's a bear is one of those Bara fags.
Oh God.
We don't even know what the bear looks like.
We
wolf
don't,
is
but
good.
we all know what it's gonna be, just in our minds.
Does anyone
Minds.
think like the default like original characters that they showed do not actually look like Sonic characters at all?
They look ugly. They look terrible.
They look
No.
like knockoff Disney characters.
Yeah. And I was gonna say the biggest hang up I have with this game, which is slightly autistic, but why do we need to put classic Sonic and everything like as his own character?
We don't.
I hate that too.
We absolutely don't. Because we're getting a classic Sonic game this year.
Yeah.
But
You can
it's
see it in the reaction from fans like immediately because I don't know. Back in 2011, we were all still basically as jaded as we are now. So our reaction to classic Sonic was a collective, even though the game ended up being pretty all right. But upon the
Generations?
initial reveal, but yeah, Generations that is. But general fan reaction to that was actually excitement, and now general fan reaction to classic Sonic's reveal here is a collective.
Yeah, it's really like because it's
slightly
not an
more
anniversary
confused.
game. There's no reason for him to be in it, and they're still doing this thing with the 3D Sonic gameplay where it like jarringly switches to 2D.
Yeah.
Like a
They
bad
absolutely
version of
cannot commit at all. They're
Yeah.
afraid to. They're afraid.
It looks really bad.
Just
Oh, by the
game-
way,
the
Green
whole
Hill
game
Zone
looks
again.
bad.
Yeah.
And that Green Hill Zone looks so uninspired too. It's
It
like
did,
covered
yeah.
in like sand and like it's
The
nasty
music
to
was
look at.
bad too.
Yeah, no.
The music was like Sonic 4 Episode 1 tier.
Yeah. Oh man.
Can we just comment on that comparison right there? Like, how much have you played Sonic 4 Episode 1 and expect us to have played Sonic 4 Episode 1?
No, I
That
knew
that
exactly. I
even
knew
fucking
exactly what he
means
was talking
anything.
about.
You've heard the first level.
I've literally
Screaming
never
cats.
played that game.
once you
I
hear
never-
the Sonic 4 music, you can never unhear it.
I've
It's awful.
platinumed both Sonic 4 episodes.
Of course you did.
Oh my God.
Weren't there 3?
No, there were two.
Well,
They were
They were
supposed,
supposed
to.
to be.
And then they realized that they created literal shit.
2 actually wasn't the worst thing I've ever played.
You keep saying this, but
It honestly was not like that bad.
What
I
about
played
Episode
one.
Metal?
I played some of 1 and I thought it was awful. I played some of 2 and I was just like, this isn't really all that much better.
I didn't even try to. I played. I finished 1 and I was just like.
I mean, like, why would you after playing 1?
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think 2 was like playable. It's not like a great game.
I mean, it's definitely better.
Well, 2 had like the tag force shit, like like Sonic Advance 3
That was
had.
stupid. That was stupid because it's got the same problem as Sonic Heroes where you just have these signs that tell you what to do, so you just stop and do that action.
Oh, okay.
There's no actual thought to it. It's just they might as well not even have them. So I mean, I could see that being a big complaint about that game. But I mean, otherwise it's okay.
You guys remember Sonic Lost World?
Yeah, I played it. I played it.
it.
It was not very
What was-
good.
Yeah,
You
what
mean
was
Mario
what was the
Galaxy?
deal with that? Because I just completely forgot about its existence.
Everybody
Well,
did.
1, it was a Wii U exclusive. 2,
Yeah,
even
but
I
was
didn't play it.
It's
Oh, really?
technically like a mainline Sonic game, and I
Yeah,
think it
but-
was they were trying to reinvent the wheel again, even though they had just had Generations, and everyone was thinking, "Hey, the boost shit's going in a good direction right now."
Right. Yeah. No.
What?
In Lost World, you couldn't you didn't even build any kind of momentum. There's a run.
No.
See, I don't hate the idea of changing after Generations to do something else. I like how Lost World looks, how it has kind of apes the whole planetoid thing from Galaxy. Everything kind of has its own gravitational pull, and it's all kind of spherical. I thought that was neat.
Yeah.
It just played heinously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
then
I got kind of a Sonic Extreme vibe from it.
Ooh,
The-
Fisheye.
Yeah, well, this franchise has always had kind of a identity crisis, though. Once it hit 3D, obviously, we've been there, done that with this discussion, but post Sonic Unleashed, once they introduced like the boost stuff, it's never really been able to commit to like being 3D.
Right.
Even Colors, which was the only one of the now, I guess it's going to be 4 boost games. That's full boost. It's constantly in the 2D form.
Right.
And isn't that like hailed as the best one of games with that style?
Yeah.
Colors? Not at all.
Colors.
I thought people liked Colors.
People
I haven't
like
played
Colors.
Yeah, but people
Colors
are
is
wrong
great.
about Colors.
They
Colors
are
is great. I don't care what anybody says. Colors is fucking great.
Then
Steve's calling that wrong.
again, Funk also thinks Sonic Unleashed is a legitimately good game.
Yeah.
Hold on. Legitimately good is quite strong, but it's not the unplayable mess that you made it out to be before.
I never said it was an unplayable mess. It's just a bad game, because it is.
It's not a bad game, but it's not like
Fuck, we were
legit.
stonewalled in the ice level for like hours.
It's
Were
worth
we?
it's
No, we were playing it with like tons of input lag because my setup was terrible. But when I went back and played that game on my own, it was fine. It was fine. It was. I would not say it was good, but it was fine.
I was playing through that game recently, and I got to the part where you're in the spaceship and are just doing not the spaceship, like the Tails' plane, and just doing like the dumb QTE shit.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very end, I beat the boss, and it just kind of it just like froze. Like at the very end, it just, like nothing.
Crashed?
Like I no, it didn't crash. Like the game, it didn't freeze. It didn't literally freeze. What happened was, I beat the boss, and it just kept going.
Did it like soft lock?
Kind of. Yeah, I guess it's soft lock, and just nothing happened. And I was like, well, great. So either I just never play this game again, or I do this level again. And I think I'd rather just never play this game again.
Imagine being one of the developers for Sonic Unleashed and being so dumb that you see all these complaints about having to play as other characters. And they're like, oh, okay, so then we just make the other gameplay type also Sonic.
It's technically Sonic.
I love... That's not even really, like... People always rag on the werehog parts. And they're not great, but I honestly think some of, like, the Sonic levels are just really awful. Like the one where you're just on water the whole level.
Yeah.
It's just
Especially when
terrible.
the frame rate drops to 5 frames per second.
It's just terrible. Like, it's just not fun. It's all just, like, fucking, fuck you, you're dead shit.
Yeah, and that's another problem. Like, these games need to be 60 frames per second with how fast
Consistently.
they go.
Which is why they started... Which is why I think maybe they started releasing on PC. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
It's a
What
good
was
thing.
it? Generations. Sorry.
Huh?
Did you want to say something?
I
You go ahead.
was just saying it's a good thing that consoles seem to have kind of gotten to the point where we can actually do these Sonic games at a good frame rate now.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's hope.
Yeah, but there's a lot more problems to fix beyond the frame rate before they're
Yeah,
really gonna
yeah.
be.
I mean, there's level design and actual like good game design in general.
Yeah. Well, they mitigated a lot of the Unleashed problems in Generations just by putting warning signs for pits of death around.
Well, also
Or
just
that game just
seems
wasn't...
more like a band-aid than anything else.
Yeah, but that
and the
game,
level-
It was a
that
good
game's-
Band-Aid, though.
that game's levels weren't, like, reliant on instant kill death traps.
No,
to
there was
stop
very
you.
little of those, and the thing is, the levels are actually very much like classic Sonic levels, where like if you fall down, you just fall to a lower level. You don't just fall into a pit. And there's actual like different areas to go to. There's like multiple levels of platforms. There's a lot like the levels actually have a lot of stuff going on.
So is there just an inherent problem with this style of game about how fast you need to communicate information when the game's built around going quickly?
There is. That's a big reason why a lot of people don't like the classic Sonic games, because they'll try to go fast and then you just hit an enemy that's in the path. And it's like, oh, well, now I'm just not going fast anymore, so I'm not having fun anymore.
Like it rewards you for learning the levels in the game, but
Right.
Well, I
which
mean,
is
that's
why
really
those people are wrong and stupid.
That's that kind of gameplay is, I think, more in line with Sega's design philosophy from the outset, where you have these short games that are very arcadey, that
meant to be replayed.
You basically memorize and replay them over and over again.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's not at all. I mean, for some people it is, but those people, like I said, are wrong.
Right.
Well, it's a bad thing when you carry it over to games in the more modern era that are longer, have longer levels.
Yeah, the levels have always been big in Sonic. Like that's always been kind of his thing. But yeah, when you're rendering that in 3D, that's a huge problem, which I think is why they have some of these. Now we have 3 characters going through 3 acts in this new game, right? Each level obviously shuffling around the assets, and that's very economical. But I'd honestly prefer it if there were just 2 acts of just modern Sonic.
Yeah,
right.
At that level.
Right.
Yeah, but I think part of the problem when we're talking about like transferring that arcadey style of gameplay to 3D, and we're talking about like this boost stuff, is that a lot of the times the reason it's so frustrating is because I don't know about you guys, but I never really feel like I'm in control throughout like any part of the game. So it feels like any death is just not my fault.
It just, the game happens to you. You're holding forward or whatever, and suddenly you've gone off two boosters and you're in the air, and I guess you're doing tricks now. And then
that's what it feels like.
You process these things like a second after they happen. Not to make it like I have a just terrible reaction speed, but you never feel like you have agency when you're playing the games.
Yeah, and I think that does a lot to harm the idea of that like arcadey style of play.
Because in the old games, if you were to let the game just push you along, you run into enemies, you run into the spikes. When you know the level, you know when to jump, when to maybe not hold right all the way or whatever, and that gives you much more of a degree of control over it.
Right. There's a level of
are
precision to like knowing whether to take the high ground and when to take the low ground, because
holy shit,
the high
Frank
ground
is here.
The high ground generally is a faster option for you if you want to hit the goal faster, but it's filled with more risks. Whereas if you take the low ground, it's going to be a slower path to the goal, but you have to worry about less obstacles and less enemies getting in your way, and you can kind of just run. So there's a degree of like high risk, high reward to it that I really enjoy.
Frank's favorite phrase.
I do love that phrase.
This, that, and the other thing.
It would be nice if they made a modern Sonic game that also had actual physics too.
Yeah.
Where like you like walk like where you walk up you like can actually go through a loop without having to hold down X.
They tried that with Sonic 06.
Oh, you mean Havoc?
Well, they didn't. They really didn't, because you can literally just like walk up the loop.
Well, yeah, because the game was
stuck
unfinished.
on a track still,
but the point is, like, they put physics in that game, and I don't think the game would have been better or worse for it.
The physics are so good, they just make everything slow down like crazy.
There's sort of physics in the boost stuff, where when you're kind of on a curve, you kind of feel like you're being affected by physics, like your momentum.
It's kind of, but it's not the same kind like the classic games have, where...
Yeah, but I think it's fine that they're 2 separate styles of gameplay.
Like, I guess so.
Nobody
like,
wants realistic physics. No one, because if you're just not going to be able to go like through a fucking loop to loop if
you're
true to life. But
I mean, I just mean like the old Sonic games, but
yeah, where you have to.
You need something that's going to make you feel like you're affecting and being affected by this world,
right?
Like when you watch the classic Sonic stuff for this new game, it's like it's disgusting how every time he jumps on a robot, he just falls through.
Oh my god!
Is that what happens?
Yeah, that was driving me nuts. He doesn't bounce up at all.
It's like no matter what you do in this world, you're always on this like fixed path. It's disgusting. It's wrong.
Remember in the old games where you would like fall from really high height, hit an enemy, and like go back up almost to the same height?
You fly way up. and that was satisfying.
Remember that one? Remember in Sonic 1 that what's that called? Spring Yard Zone, where they first introduced like the half pipes.
Yeah.
And he actually felt and he can actually like go higher. Yeah, where I'd like that in a new Sonic game.
Right.
Which I guess is why Sonic Mania exists.
Right. Yeah.
So, in conclusion, look forward to Sonic Mania.
Yeah, I'm actually
Forward to
pretty
Sonic
excited for
Mania
Sonic
because-
Mania.
Is Sonic Mania just like I don't even really know the mission statement of this game. I know very little about it.
It's like
Is it just preying
it's
on
like-
people's nostalgia?
yes, but like it's 60. I think it's like 60% remakes of old zones and 40% new levels.
And-
But it's clearly designed to be like actual classic Sonic gameplay.
Yeah, it's made by the guy that did the Sonic CD port and the Sonic 2, like HD or whatever the hell. And,
No, a guy who's never made anything on his own.
well, he's made some,
He made a really good classic Sonic engine, and then
Yeah, he
Sega
had
hired him to make a
Struck
game.
the engine completely.
Yeah.
and he also made his own, like in Sonic 2 in Mystic Cave Zone. It's notorious for having like this stupid fucking pit where if you
Oh,
fall
God.
into it, it's just an endless spike pit, and you're just stuck there until you die. But in the HD remake, he took that pit and he made it the entrance to the Hidden Palace Zone, which was like in the beta of the original. So he took that zone, he remade it, and he like actually made it into a legitimate zone. And he took that bottomless pit and made it into the entrance to that zone. So it's really, it's not like he's never made a zone before. So
Yeah. Hidden
Have
Palace.
you ever made a zone?
Basically, Sega realized that they're too bad at making Sonic games and just got their fans to do it.
As long as
Which
it's not
is-
dimps,
they
that's all
should
that
do.
matters.
They shouldn't even be bothering with this new game because it's gonna suck.
Do you think it'll be a success?
Yes.
It's gonna be a success.
I mean, the fact that
Forces of me.
people are clamoring over the fact that they can make their own Sonic character.
Yeah.
I'll be completely honest and say that
It'll probably
did
be a hit.
legitimately make me more interested in the game.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
If only
It is-
because
it
it
is
was kind
technically
of-
something fresh.
I
It's
mean-
it's dumb, but in kind of a fun way.
Can we talk about how
the game
Dillo is an
clearly
insider for Sega?
the game clearly has the Matt and Frank votes because you can equip the fucking Gurren Lagann glasses to your
Oh my
character.
god.
Is this like a full retail game?
Yes.
$60?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. I've never seen somebody pay $60 to make their own autistic raccoon, but I guess now's the time.
Well, now you're gonna see it because there's gonna be millions of autists buying this game just for that.
You
Everyone's-
still have like on the character profile like personalities to pick from, like can't deal with stress.
Do you think DeviantArt is going to crash the day the game comes out?
Oh no.
No. What character is Chris Chan gonna make?
Oh my god. There's
Is he
got to
gonna
be a
make-
way to make Sonichu.
I
Like,
hope
just a
there's like
yellow-
amiibo support for this, just so you can get like Pikachu ears on your Sonic.
Didn't Chris Chan make a Sonichu amiibo?
Yeah,
Oh,
he did.
he's made many amiibo.
He Frankensteined him. Which is my mate.
He spends so much money on amiibo just to rip them apart and take, put this tail on the me gunner.
If I so much money, you mean like $12 per amiibo? Then yeah, I guess he did.
I mean, that adds up. Ask Colin.
Very rich. He's bought a lot of amiibo, Frank. So
Yeah.
Frank, you might not be as in the know as an expert such as myself,
No, I'm not.
but so he sells custom-made, or at least sold at some point, custom-made amiibo over eBay.
Okay.
And each amiibo would be an amalgam of like parts from Link, parts from Sonic, parts
Right.
from Pikachu, because they'd be several of his own characters
Yeah, of course.
and himself. And the thing is, let's say that he sells 2 of those, or at least
Right.
makes 2 of them to be sold. Well, he has to buy each one of those distinct amiibo 2 or 3 different times.
Well, then is anyone buying them such that there's a like a demand for?
I don't think anyone was
multiple-
buying them, but he has posted videos of his stock and how
Right.
many he's made, and he's
Oh.
made quite a few.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So believe you me, the Amiibo fund is quite large.
Did
Where,
the guy
where does he get the money?
refund it?
The tugboat, I imagine.
And
Well,
he
that's-
can't.
Yeah.
He can't buy them at the Fashion Square Mall, I imagine.
No, he's that's verboten.
Whoa.
Chris Chan lived a hard life.
Right.
It's only getting harder.
You know what
I
else?
am looking forward to his custom Sonic characters.
Did we ever find
Steve
out
was about
why-
to segue,
I was. I could want to.
and you just shat on him.
Look, Steve and I started, at least from my perspective, at the same time, and I was not backing down. I ain't no bitch.
You know what else lived a hard life?
What else lived a hard life, Steve?
The Nintendo Wii U.
Oh boy.
So I don't know if you guys remember this, but when the Wii U came out, we did a retrospective on the Wii.
Right.
Did we?
Oh,
yeah, we
dude.
did.
Oh. You
On
did?
the podcast. You don't remember, but we did it. So
I mean, that was before I was here.
that's true. Matt wouldn't remember. But let's talk about the Wii U. Does anyone have any positive or negative strong feelings for this console, one way or the other?
Yeah, I sold it at GameStop, and they got me $200 towards the Switch, so it was a good deal. It was a guaranteed pre-order, and just had it in the bag, and it was pretty great. Didn't have to worry about it. Scouring for one at launch day like I did with the Wii U, and that was a fucking waste. But
The best function I got out of the Wii U is that it was a very easy way to play Mario 64. And,
Yeah, yeah. I think I bought 5 games for the Wii U.
Really?
No way.
Wow.
You had to bought more than that. You had it since launch, right?
No,
When did you get yours?
like 2013.
Really?
Yeah.
when the
and
hell did it launch?
2012.
I got mine in 2014, and I would say that I played some of my favorite games on Wii U. I thought I actually had a very strong lineup. Stuff like Wonderful 101, Tropical Freeze, Pikmin 3. These are all some of my... Shut the fuck up, Funk. These are all some of my favorite games. And I totally get why the console didn't click with a lot of people. Because look at a game like Wonderful 101 that was heavily advertised with the gamepad support, and it sucks with the gamepad support.
It really does. Yeah. Like you could literally port Wonderful 101 to the Switch and it'd be fine.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, the
Which
Switch
they
is,
should do.
The Switch is like what the Wii U should have been, but
Exactly.
Yeah, 'cause
I
a
guess
lot
they
of
had to
people
make
were-
that console to get to where we are now.
A lot of people were mistaking the Wii U for like a portable Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the
And-
name.
What?
Well, there are people who thought it was
No,
like
it's
an
not.
add-on.
It's not that the Wii U is
Oh,
strictly
because
portable.
Wii was in the name.
Yes, it's.
Oh, okay.
I was working at GameStop at the time.
I was like, what's portable
And I-
about you?
No, and I was talking to customers all the time who were like, "What is the Wii U? Like, is this just something for my Wii?"
The name was a disaster.
Yeah,
Well,
people
it's like-
did not
it-
understand that
it's-
it was like its own distinct console.
On one hand, Nintendo kind of fucked up the marketing for that system, but on the other hand, customers are really fucking dumb.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But that's
Yeah, but
why
that-
the fuck up hurts all the more.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta realize, as a marketer, people are fucking retarded. So you gotta make your marketing as retard-proof as humanly possible, to the point where a literal retard could say, "Oh, this is a new thing."
Like, could you imagine if they called it the new console the Wii Switch?
Okay. Oh god.
It would have been a disaster.
It's interesting to think that there was third-party support for the Wii U starting out, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
right off the bat, all the consoles usually get like some degree of third-party support. But, like
For Zombie
Ubisoft
U.
was going pretty. Because you got like Zombie U, and they had like Batman, Arkham City,
Don't
and
talk
shit.
to me about Zombie U ever.
Did you
Why?
play this game?
I played it for about 10 minutes, and I don't know if I was missing something, but Jesus Christ.
I played it for about 45, and I kind of have the same opinion.
And
It's
people
not-
were like, "Wow, it's a good game." But like this is what happens when a new Nintendo console comes out with no games. Like people eat up shit.
You kids remember
Right.
Red Steel?
Oh my
Yes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
bought that. I bought
yeah,
that game at launch. That was a
I
mistake.
think Zombie U was one of the few games to actually take advantage of the gamepad, though,
It was.
along with Kirby
it was
and the
actually-
Rainbow Curse.
It
But
did
then they-
actually make good use of the gamepad in a very interesting way. Too bad the game itself was fucking shit.
They ported fucking Zombie U to like other consoles and shit. They just called it like Zombie.
They ported
Like,
it to PC,
Zombie.
and it was a piece of trash on PC too.
I mean, I think other than like one game that I'll mention in a second, but I mean, I like the Wii U second screen in the same way I like the 3DS second screen or the DS second screen. It was just useful to have more information at time. But
I
like,
mean-
if you had any situation that required constant looking back and forth between the two screens, that I find that very disorientating. But I do think Super Mario Maker was a legitimately really good use of that screen.
It
Oh, yeah.
was.
Um,
That was
Definitely
great.
was. Yeah,
That was great.
And
Like,
it
it
came
took,
out,
it took
like,
them
way
years.
too late.
It took them years to get
It did.
there. But
it absolutely did.
Yeah, like I
God.
actually what?
Sorry, I was just thinking this game launched as like its big system seller was New Super Mario Bros. U, which was a game that looked exactly like New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Like, damn, that's dumb.
And Nintendo Land.
yeah, it's also
Nintendo
Oh,
Land was
Nintendo
good.
Land.
But like
Remember
when
the
you consider
fireworks
like
game?
Nintendo Land.
when you
Remember the
consider like
fireworks at the end of the
when you
E3
consider like the Wii
thing?
and the Switch, whose big launch games were like ports of Zelda games.
That's,
And then-
that's all you needed, though.
I no,
That
but
was
I
That's new
I know,
game.
but if you're talking about launch games, like that's kind of what you expect.
Yeah, no one's expecting like the best of the library to come out at launch, but New Super Mario Brothers
U.
or
It looks
it's such a step down from something like Twilight Princess or Breath of the Wild, even though those
Right.
are available on the previous generation. It's just putting aside the graphics of it or how it looks, even if it does look identical, which it does. The game just itself is not that good.
I
were-
completely disagree. I think those games get way too much shit. They are actual good Mario platformers.
I
Like
will
they're-
say
when you look at them, like they don't like fill you with glee. Like they don't have like an overbearingly great art style or anything like that. But they are at their core Mario platformers, which are still
I just
great
think they're a
games.
little
I don't
cookie
think they're
cutter
bad.
now.
They
the
just
first
feel
one was really
they don't feel right.
I don't think they're particularly bad.
they're not bad, they're just kind of mediocre.
So,
Yeah, they're
especially
cookie
the
cutter.
first one.
So
I never played 2.
compare the new Super Mario Brothers games to something like the 3D World, which aren't
Oh,
quite
yeah.
exactly the same. But 3D World isn't a particularly ambitious game. It's not doing something earth-shatteringly new like Galaxy or 64. You know, it's just platforming levels. You know, at its core.
Right.
And that game has so many more ideas packed into it than any of the new Super Mario Brothers games do.
But
That's
but I also think the 2D Mario games are limited because of that.
That
Maybe
is true.
Like I think
But-
you can do more with 3D.
having played Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo, I don't think that new Super Mario Brothers goes beyond that formula at all. Like I would
But
just
it
rather play
it doesn't even
Super Mario
reach,
You're
it
right.
really doesn't even reach the
No,
like,
no,
Super
you're
Mario
right,
World.
but like
Yeah.
that's also the point of those games. Like they want
To
to
not
just
be good enough?
No, they just want to be classic Mario platformers, and that's
which
it.
which I
They're
think
not-
was fine when they were on the DS. But when
Yes,
you
they
make
did
the
get
jump,
long in the tooth.
yeah, when you make the jump to the home console, I think you need to have a little more.
But I think, yes,
I think the co-op is the appeal of the console.
yes.
ones, though,
I was about to say, but I mean, they did that twice because with New Super Mario Brothers Wii, like that was the big thing, and I think that
Right.
was something new and exciting at the time. New Super Mario Brothers U didn't really bring anything new to the table.
Well,
but
it brought the little stupid shit that you could do on the gamepad. You could like tap on the gamepad to make platforms and shit, and just fuck with people.
Oh, you mean
It
baby
was
mode?
so dumb.
Remember
What's
the
you can click on people's messages talking about how their parents were fighting, and then
Yeah,
just-
the 3D World had that too.
you could pick up a
I
little
will
baby
say-
Yoshi and the Yoshi would sing to the song.
Yeah, but New Super Mario 2 on the 3DS, it had this little mechanic where like it had this goal to get like 1 billion coins or something like that. So there would just be this massive coin counter that would show up every time you would do a level and just keep track of the total coins that you amassed. And like normally I don't give a flying fuck about getting coins. It's just like, oh, okay, whatever, you get 100, you get an extra life. But having that giant counter like in my face, it just inspired me to like, all right, I have to get as many coins as I possibly can. So to me, anyway, I guess it's just like almost a cookie clicker thing where I have an autistic desire to see numbers go up really high.
I think everyone does to a certain extent.
Yeah,
You should play Diablo 3, Frank. That's like the ultimate watch numbers get bigger game.
All right. I hear good things about Diablo 3 since like
Well,
they did all the updates.
The Reaper of Souls version, at least.
Okay.
Don't-
Yeah, no,
Diablo 3 podcast.
original.
Oh boy.
But yeah, it's on my list. I'll give it a shot.
Do we have a consensus of what was the best Wii U game?
3D World, hands down.
3D World.
Pikmin 3, baby.
Pikmin 3 is great, but yeah, go ahead.
It's got to be, I don't know. Hyrule Warriors was good.
You just like the girls.
It was good.
Give a shout out to Woolly World.
Oh, Woolly World was such an underrated game.
Woolly World is
I
almost
like
as
Bayonetta
good as
2.
Yoshi's Island.
Woolly World was one of the few like sort of collectathon games that I actually bothered doing everything in.
Mm-hmm. What'd you say, Frank?
Bayonetta 2.
What?
Bayonetta
Bayonetta 2 is
2.
also fucking great. Bayonetta 2 is fucking amazing.
I liked it. I wasn't actually as crazy about it as I was about The Wonderful 101.
I mean, one more one was good, but I really liked Bayonetta 2. And it was also the first time I played Bayonetta 1, so...
Wonderful 101 is great, but there are some segments of that game that make me really like just never want to replay it.
I think you guys are neglecting the actual greatest Wii U game that was only available for a short time and no one will ever be able to play it again. And that was Meme Run. Did any of you actually buy that game?
I did.
No.
No.
Of course you did.
Are you shitting me?
No, I did. I had to.
He had to.
Did you beat it?
It's not a game that you can beat. It's an endless runner game.
Wait, is it like Eminem's Racing where you just cannot beat it?
No, it's like an end. It's so you ever play Mega Man 8 and you have that jump slide portion?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, this
I
is
know
a
what you're
retarded
talking about.
comparison. Temple Run. Just think of Temple Run.
Yeah, it will.
think of Temple Run, yeah.
It's like a 2D temple run.
Wait, is this like that helicopter game where if you click the helicopter like goes a little higher?
Who are you?
No, it's not like Flappy Bird. No.
How old are you?
I'm sorry?
50?
You don't remember this helicopter game?
I remember it, but I would never use it as like an example.
If the people I'm
How do you
talking to
remember
know what it is, why wouldn't I use that?
No.
I mean, I get that Frank is like 11,
Off
but
the top of your
still.
head, yeah, oh, the helicopter.
22.
Like, that is...
Oh my god.
Look, that game was great. Played it during recess all the time.
Yeah, you played it during recess?
Yeah, because they let us use the computers, and I was a
Yeah.
fat fuck.
Why weren't you playing the Oregon Trail?
Why are you
Didn't have
playing
it.
Don't
Pro
talk
Mag
to me about
Rally?
the Oregon Trail.
How did your school not have the Oregon Trail?
I don't know. Maybe
Why
it
is
was
he
violent.
saying it like that? No one's calling him out on this. Why is he saying it like that?
Like
What?
what?
Oregon.
Oregon.
Oregon Trail.
That's what it's
it's
called.
Oregon.
It's not the Oregon Trial. Did you like misread something?
I'm gonna jump.
Let's
Okay, no.
Don't drop. There's so much
How
more
to-
question.
How to win the Oregon Trail with courtroom drama.
Colin, can
What?
you pronounce Oregon Trail for me?
Hold on a second. Am I going crazy?
Is Colin gonna say Oregon? Oregon? Like what?
Am I going crazy? I always thought it was
just say
Oregon
it.
Trail.
That's how I always say it.
Like the things inside your body?
Oregon Trail?
Oregon.
Wait. How do you guys say the state of Oregon?
Oregon.
Oregon.
Really? I say Oregon.
I say Oregon.
What's that thing Funk says that we make fun of?
Every East Coast thing?
There was something. Colin was like, "Oh my god, how did you say it like that?" But
I mean, I know I say Skyrim.
You said it right that time.
Oh no, it was
Right?
it was tournament.
No, that was Frank.
Was it?
What tournament?
No, but it wasn't tournament. It was something else. But I forget what it
no,
was.
No, are you making fun of the way I said like emperor?
No.
We can.
I say a lot of things strangely. I mean, sorry.
So the best thing about the Wii U was that the discs were thick.
They were thick.
They were thick.
Thick.
I distinctly remember the first time I held one, and I was like, "Damn, girl, stack that disc up."
Pull over
Yeah.
that disc too fat.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the worst thing about the Wii U's lifetime, at least, and that's how far Treehouse fell.
Oh yeah.
And they jewed us out of 3 very good games on the console. That being Fatal Frame, Xenoblade Chronicles or whatever,
Mhm.
and then the Shin Megami Tensei game.
Wait,
Tokyo
Did
Mirage
you say,
Sessions.
did you play any of those?
Well, no, I couldn't because
on
I
principle? Yeah, I didn't buy any of them on
On
principle
principle.
either.
I couldn't.
I would have bought all 3 games, but I didn't.
Instead, I doubled down on my Japanese studying so that I can play them in Japanese.
Yeah.
Which I
you
guess I
you can't
recommend
learn Japanese.
that. But it's really disgusting, and they keep doing it. They're still doing it. But I think we've talked about that a lot.
It really it's upsetting to read an interview about the developers thinking, oh yeah, the localization team, we get such a long list of things to change. They must be working really hard.
Yep.
Oh my god.
It's amazing.
Wasn't
And they don't do it to protect the children. No.
They do it to protect their fucking politics. Or not really to protect, more like to project.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
That's a sound bite
man.
right there. Is this the most woke podcast of all time?
Listen. All right. I know we have a lot of laughs, but you're actually culturally appropriating right now.
Am I?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Woke. The
How dare
term
I?
woke was, to put it nicely, borrowed from the African American community
What
by.
do you say apes?
Wrap it up.
Yeah, it was aped. It was aped by by white teenage girls on Instagram or whatever.
Hmm.
And now it's a trendy thing to say, which kind of bothers me just on principle. Not because it's like, not because I'm like actually concerned about the cultural appropriation thing, but because it's like, it's just stupid. It's just dumb. Like these white teenagers discovered that black people talk funny, and now it's like funny to say this stuff.
Yeah, DL, he's known this for years.
Look at a kid learns a swear word for the first time.
But DL,
Yeah, that's it. That's what it is.
people are different, and that's funny.
I mean, yeah, there's a certain amount of actual hilarity to it, but not when it gets to the scale of like being reposted on like Stacy's Instagram wall 5,000 times.
Do you follow Stacy on Instagram?
I follow several Stacys.
Oh my god.
But are they all Asian?
Sounded so sensual. Oh, I follow several.
No, Asians can't really be Stacys, can they?
That's true. So you know those pictures where it shows like somebody's brain increasingly reaching enlightenment as,
Yeah.
as they go through several levels?
Brain
Well-
posting.
Yeah, brain posting. So following Stacy's is like mid tier, and then top tier is just following random Japanese women.
Yeah. Well, I do that a lot too.
I know you do.
I've
wish
seen
I
the
could just, like,
retweets.
I wish I could just collect
I thought the one where the synapses are firing outside the brain is following guys who lift.
So, are we all bidding a fond farewell to the Wii U?
Oh,
No,
is that
we're
what this was about?
We're not done yet. So the fucking Wii U. What really got me about it is how cheap the gamepad and the Pro controllers felt in my hands. Like every time I picked it up to play Mario Kart or something, I'd pick it up for the first time in a fortnight or two and be like, ugh.
So I never had a
sheen on it, right? Like,
Actually,
I never had a problem with the design at the time, and I do like. I was surprised at how comfortable it was to actually use the controller. Like I thought it'd be really, really uncumbersome.
No, it was
when it
certainly
first released.
ergonomic, but
Yes.
the plastic that it was in, the way that it attracted or showed the dust that was on there, the way the
Well,
buttons
I
felt.
had the white system, so that was not a problem for me. But
I had the black one, and it just
Yeah,
it
I
just
do too.
But like
It
that
felt
stuff,
very
that
cheap.
stuff didn't really bother me at the time until I saw the Switch and then bought the Switch, and then you realize like what an actual piece of well-designed, good-looking hardware that is. That makes the Wii U kind of look like a Fisher Price toy.
exactly.
I agree
And,
with
and
that.
it felt like one when you were holding it. The buttons on I think my Pro controller, and maybe even my gamepad, that started to stick. It just didn't feel like a great controller from either side.
Can I stop you for a second?
Just stop me. Feel free.
What possessed you, like as you, to buy a Pro controller? Like, what use are you getting out of that?
I'm certainly not pro, so that was not the motivation. I have no idea really. I don't remember purchasing one. I just know that I owned one at some point. So I might have like gotten shilled to when I picked the thing up. Somebody was like, "Oh, you're gonna need this Pro controller." I'm like, yeah, throw it in.
Like just as to mitigate the potentially horrible gamepad.
Yes, it could have been a precaution,
Mhm.
but I'm trying to think of when I used it.
maybe to play like Mario 3D World or something,
Maybe
like,
I think-
co-op.
Yeah. Because I would somebody be on the gamepad, somebody get a Pro controller, and I think two people had the Wii remotes. But I mean, it was a
When did you
waste
have
of
four
fucking
people
money.
playing?
I frankly,
Really?
believe it or not, I have friends that aren't you.
No way.
And
I had
Non-Fire Blast friends.
I had two Pro controllers, and I got them because Mario Kart is just about the only game I can get a group of friends together to play. Smash, they can't. Only one friend can really play Smash with me. Locally.
does he tilt?
He does tilt. Oh yes. Typically a very straight-laced guy, but yes. No one really tilts with Mario Kart except for Funk.
Well, no.
Meadows.
I was not the tilter there.
I
Yeah,
get
you
mad at
are.
Mario Kart.
I was just shit posting.
Yeah, you leave. You're like,
I
I
did not
can't
leave.
wait.
That's right.
You're like, I can't wait in my little cat car.
Oh my god.
That
Oh my
never
god. That's
happened.
right. Funk would rage quit.
That's not true.
Oh my god. That's pathetic.
This is character assassination.
And and like the best thing is like you wouldn't even say anything. You would get so mad.
This is Mule you're talking about.
No, it's
Mule
not. No, it's not. Because
Oh, okay, all right.
because Mule would stay silent but still play. He would go silent and just leave.
So
You'd go no contact for the rest of the night.
I don't think this is true.
When Mario Kart came out, that's when we first added Matt to the group, and we
Right.
didn't know about Matt's he's a very vocal video game player.
I am. I am. That is true.
If we could see each other's faces, we would all be exchanging nervous glances because we just weren't used to it yet.
Mario Kart was certainly a joy.
Mario Kart was great.
My only regret about the Wii U, and this is not true because there are many regrets, but the biggest regret that I have is that 3D World did not have online co-op. Because I don't know how much of the co-op you guys played.
Oh, I played a ton.
It was fantastic.
It was a lot of fun.
It was so good. It's one of the biggest reasons why it's my favorite Mario game. But being able to play that co-op with you fags online would have been the best.
Whoa there. Let's be cool and bring it off.
Tell
We
me
had a lot
I'm
of fun.
wrong. We did have a lot of fun. It's great.
The worst is the stupid crown because it's completely
No, that's the
meaningless.
best.
That's
But-
the best.
It's completely meaningless, but everyone just goes batshit over it. Like,
Tilting.
You could just act like a shithead every time you have the crown, and it's great.
The crown was the best design decision they made about that entire game. It's perfect. Every game should have a crown.
it means nothing, but
Oh my god.
Oh, what do you want, Frank? Do you want everybody to just cooperate and get through these levels
Yeah,
like the most
I mean-
efficient way possible?
it's very frustrating when I have the crown and then you guys just gang up on me. Like,
Oh
We'd
my
throw you, Frank. We would throw you off the ledge even if you didn't have the crown.
I mean, fair enough, but
So the official Mario 3D World character power ranking.
Oh, that's exactly what I was gonna say next.
Oh,
And
boy.
we're on the same wavelength here. So number one, obviously, with a bullet, is Toad.
Yep,
Yes.
False.
Number two,
absolutely.
close but not quite, Peach.
Mm,
3, Luigi.
mm.
4, Rosalina. 5, Mario.
Oh my gosh, you lost me really fast there.
All right,
All right,
well,
you had me with Toad, all right, but the
Okay.
second best one is Mario. All right,
Look
and
at this
then
guy.
Luigi, and then
Colin is
Luigi.
the only person in the universe who actually likes to play as Mario.
Stop shilling Mario.
Mario's a great guy. He's got a lot of passion for what he does. You know, he bings, and then he wahoos.
so who's after Mario?
Then Rosalina, and then Easy Moto Peach.
Are you just not ranking Luigi?
Oh, sorry, Luigi. Wait, didn't I? No, whatever.
I
Well,
don't
he's
think you said
after-
Luigi.
Whatever. He's after Mario.
Okay.
At least we can
Luigi's
all
always
agree
So
that
Colin
Toad-
just hates women.
That's not
Oh,
true
you know.
at all.
Who would have thought?
we can all,
They're
we
just,
can
they're
all
just,
agree
they're just
that
the
Toad
easy mode characters.
is the best.
Yeah, but that's part of the reason why Peach is fun, I think. Is you just get to shitpost and float around. Like, have you ever floated out of reach of the other characters while you have the crown?
No, but that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that is the guy with his synapses firing right there.
Oh, so one more thing I did want to bring up on the subject, but what was the worst Wii U game you guys played?
Oh boy.
Zombie U.
It's hard to say because the only games I got for the Wii U were games that I knew that I would like.
What's the Sonic game with Lyric, Sonic Boom?
Sonic.
Oh.
Okay, yep, that's got to be it.
Oh
There
my
you
God,
go.
I was gonna say a different game, and then you brought it up, and I just remembered I actually bought that.
yeah,
Thank you,
I voted too.
Thank
Okay.
you, Funk.
one
It
I
was
played
Sonic
was
Lost World.
Yeah, same Matt, yeah.
Sonic
Mon-
Lost
Mon-
World. Oh my god.
Lost World was probably the worst game.
Did you play Colors, Colin?
I did play Colors, yeah. I played
Did you-
quite a bit of Colors.
I've said this before, but did you notice how the final boss is literally a copy paste of the Colors final boss?
Yeah, it definitely is, yeah.
God,
I think the worst one I
Lost World
played
just
was
feels so
probably.
janky.
it is. It's really like it has. I really like the whole idea of like the parkour system of like climbing up things really fast and just like actually being like all the interactivity with the environment. The problem is that it's just so janky and shitty.
Yeah. And even that game has like the weird 2D segments. Just
It does. It's so
who
weird.
asked for this?
Remember the Deadly Six?
Yes.
No.
Remember how in the last level of the game you like fight all of them and then they just kind of disappear, and it's like I guess they're dead now.
Yeah,
Remember-
Sonic just fucking
Yeah,
killed
nothing-
these guys.
Nothing really got resolved.
Hedgehog
gets
of
resolved.
murder.
They just disappear, and it's like wait, where'd they go?
Maybe they wanted to use them for future installments. The iconic looking Deadly Six.
I mean, they put them in the fucking Olympic Games, so they're still around.
Did they?
Are they
Christ.
playable
Yeah.
in the Olympic
Yeah.
game?
Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah.
Even the old guy?
I don't know if all of them are, but definitely the big guy.
For you?
You know you
Frank,
can't
what were,
say
what
that.
were you going to say, Frank?
Mighty number 9.
Oh my god, that's a Wii.
That doesn't
title.
really count though. It's not exclusive.
Yeah, I guess not.
Wait, is Mighty Number 9 really worse than Sonic Boom?
Probably.
Rides
I
of Lyric?
mean,
Probably.
it's close.
I think the crushing disappointment really adds to it.
Speaking of crushing disappointment, was that the other one who like completely bought it on fucking Star Fox Zero?
I did not buy that
No.
game.
I didn't.
Is that,
I-
is that a
buy
Wii
it.
U game?
Yeah, I made the mistake of buying that game.
Wow, really? Damn.
Not only that, I made a mistake of downloading it, so I can't resell it.
Oh, no.
man.
Steve, have you played
Yeah.
Star Fox Assault?
Yeah, Star Fox Assault's a good game.
Is
Oh,
that
wow,
Wii
okay.
U?
Is it all right? I was about to say, is that a better game than Star Fox?
Yeah,
Zero?
Star Fox Assault's legitimately good. Command is awful, is the worst Star Fox game, but Zero is not far behind.
So
What
are
is
there
the-
like more bad Star Fox games now than there are good ones?
Depends on how you feel about Star Fox Adventures.
Well, I guess
Is that
Yeah.
the one where Fox goes to the dinosaur planet and turns into a dinosaur and like the dinosaur fucks him
He
in the
doesn't
ass?
turn into a dinosaur, but he does go to the dinosaur planet.
Steve, how do you feel about Star Fox Adventure?
I don't know, because, like, I tried playing through that game on 4 separate occasions, and I quit the game at the exact same point every time, and it's as soon as you meet Tricky. The game just completely goes to shit at that point.
that
You
game
have
is
to you have to babysit this stupid Triceratops the whole game.
that game.
Thinking of the fetish comic that gets posted on V where Fox turns into a gay dinosaur.
Yeah, and then the other
What?
dinosaur fucks him in the ass.
Yeah.
Is that not the plot?
I mean, it's basically
It just doesn't happen.
Oh my god.
What was the Star Fox game that was on GameCube that wasn't Star Fox Adventures?
Star
Star
Fox
Fox
Assault.
Okay.
That's one that's like a third-person shooter, partially.
I
Yeah.
liked that game, but I was also a stupid kid when I played it, so I don't know if it's actually good.
Yeah.
It is. Like the actual on rails missions are pretty good. The on foot stuff, like the third person stuff, is not great.
So-
But it's passable.
The hot take I had when I was just a dumb kid playing this was like, man, I really like these on foot levels, but I wish these stupid space missions weren't here.
Oh my god. Star Fox Adventures is like proof that Rare
It's a
went
rare
to
game.
shit. It is a Rare
Yeah.
game. And
The
that
best
Rare,
part was when they just stuck Andross at the end of the game just because. I don't know if you guys know the ending to that game, but it's
Oh
fucking
yeah,
stupid.
I'm here. Hi.
Like
Time to fight me.
so you get to the end of the game and you fight the ultimate bad guy who you think is General Scales. And then the battle is just like 5 seconds and then it's over. And then you go into space and you fight the giant Andross head who just shows up. And then Falco, who wasn't in the game the entire game, then shows up to help you. And then the game ends.
We love Falco. He's so great that he showed up in Breath of the Wild.
Oh my god.
Do you want to fuck that Falco?
No.
Why does every Nintendo like anthropomorphic bird have to be so sexual?
It is very strange. Like you look at Cass and you just like they knew what they were doing.
So
There's nothing sexual about him.
Bullshit, there isn't.
He has
is this
like,
our
the
segue
perfect-
into talking about Zelda?
Sure, why not? He has like
No,
the perfect
no.
build. of,
Clear
like,
this up for me
smart-
right now. What is sexual about Cass?
Have you
He's
seen the
giving
way
you
he
bedroom
looks
eyes
like-
every time he talks.
Look at his build. He has like the stereotypical Bara build.
He does. He
He's
does.
just a big guy.
Oh, I thought you said look at his bill, like his beak.
Oh, Andy, he plays the accordion.
Yeah, he's the only.
The immense sexual act of playing an accordion.
Yeah, look, he's the only Rito that's a parrot, and parrots are South American, so he's kind of got like a
Brazilian vibe going on.
yeah, he's got like a Latin fire to him.
Don't fucking start with me. I know where you're going.
All right, so putting aside the bird, which Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild character would you most want to fuck?
Zelda, no contest. Zelda's great.
Aya.
Aya is the most overrated thing
Go
in
kill
the
yourself,
fucking
my
world.
man.
Paya's great. Paya's great. I took pictures of her sleeping and waking up and writing in the diary and praying.
what was the lolly's name? She was also great.
Pura.
Pura, yes, Pura. Pura's so much better than Paya.
She's literally an anime character.
So?
Like a bad anime character.
She's great.
Mipha's great.
Is what you saying? So DL,
It would be great if she didn't have such a terrible voice.
Oh God, her voice is so bad.
I played it in Japanese, so
I'm sure the Japanese voice is much better.
I
but-
played it in Japanese.
it lost.
Wait, DL. So when Pura does her thing where she says like check it, is she actually saying Genki?
No, she's
Like-
saying Checky.
She is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's cute.
It is cute.
But her head is massive.
Her
They
head
knew
is-
what they were doing. When they gave you the camera, Pura was like, take a picture of me. And I'm like, hell yeah, I will.
Please stop.
What is this beautiful creature?
They even gave her like the fucking traditional Japanese kid backpack. I don't know what it's called,
It's
but
fucking
DL
adorable.
probably knows.
The Rando Seru.
I'm sure that thing is just its own fetish.
Stop this degeneracy immediately.
It is. It is.
Do you think she just had one of those lying around just in the off chance she wanted to turn herself into a 6-year-old?
Oh, Jesus!
But she retains the best qualities of an old woman by having the gray hair. It's just perfect.
You are like the most bizarre human being. You have the most specific fetishes.
You can't tell me. So, am I alone in this?
Delete
Basically
this.
a 6-year-old Lolly who is actually over 100 years old with gray hair.
Delete this.
I mean, between
Awful.
that and the fucking having to cross dress while playing as Link,
Oh,
like
God.
is this the biggest fetish game that
This-
Nintendo's ever made?
This is like
Yeah,
Is this the
actually.
Phantom World, the video games?
this is the biggest fetish fuel game that Nintendo has ever made.
Like everyone wants to fuck Link.
Yeah, look, you got all these.
Yeah.
You got all these great-looking gals in the game, and the lion's share of fan art is cross-dressing Link and a gay bird.
No,
Oh, and-
don't forget the Zora
Yeah, the
guy.
fish. Sit on,
Don't
right?
forget the fish.
Yeah, that guy too.
Anytime it's cross-dressing Link, he's always just getting raped by a Lionel or a fucking crew from Boko Boblins.
Boko Boblin! Did you tell that story on a podcast, Funk?
I don't think so, so I'll tell it now. So, when Breath of the Wild came out and we were playing it, Colin and I would often just have one-on-one Skype chats where we'd just be playing the game and, getting comfy. And one day when Colin and I were talking, he just name drops the Boko Boblins that he was fighting. So I'm like, oh, I guess it's one of the enemies in the game. So I played through it more on my own, and I recognized that weapons I would pick up were like Bokoblin Club or Bokoblin Shield or something. So I'm like, well, I guess the Bokoblins are higher level enemies, and I'll get to them eventually. So I get to the end of the game, like I do all the side quests, all the shrine quests, I do everything but the Koroks, and I beat Ganon. And I was like, oh, that's a great game. I had a lot of fun. And then I go on and I'm just browsing the internet, like 30 minutes after I'd beaten it, and I'm like, wait a second, there were no Bokoblins. And I realized that I had been rused this whole time. It's insane.
All I do when we play Overwatch is mispronounce the characters' names.
But you don't understand, Bokoblin is perfectly within the wheelhouse of what Nintendo would call an enemy.
I call Bozo Grabo.
Grabo.
Oh my god.
I felt cheated.
All right. Real talk here. Is anyone comfortable with saying this is the best Zelda game?
Yeah. I am.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's definitely. I mean, it's like probably number 2.
There's still a bit of recency bias, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that.
The more I try to separate myself from it, and the more I just try to look at it objectively, like it still holds up. Before this, my favorite was Majora's Mask, and I would, right now, feel comfortable saying that this was a better game.
I think, me personally,
Oh my god.
I think I would almost distinguish them as two kind of separate things. like this.
It's a very different game, yeah.
They're very different, and there's things I like about like Nintendo 64 Zelda, for example, that aren't in this game. That I think this game kind of suffers for it just a little bit. But there's things in this game that are like amazing, and like they don't really mix.
Yeah, I do think like a lot of the people who've been critical of this game have done so under the guise of like trying to compare it too much to the old Zelda games when it's like clearly trying to be something different.
Right.
Right.
But I do think the reason this game succeeds so well is that it is something new while also retaining a lot of what made the old Zelda games great.
Yeah, and I do think like if I were to pick like what I wanted going forward, it would be something more in this vein.
Definitely, yeah. I think there's definitely a lot of room for improvement here. You know, there are a lot of people have been saying that there's not enough enemy variety. And because of the emergent gameplay, I feel like there's more variety in encounters
Yeah.
than there's ever been in some regards.
Right.
But I can totally see what they're coming from, because like if you just throw in like an enemy that flies but can also carry a weapon, you've added a ton of enemy variety just with that.
Right.
And then people are saying there's a lack of reward variety because most everything just leads to a shrine. And I don't really mind that myself, because every shrine, like 103 out of 117 or so shrines. Or wait, 120?
Yeah.
Right. 120 shrines, 17 are combat shrines. So 103 offer a fun, unique little challenge.
Well, no, but some of them aren't even puzzles.
Some of them,
the ones that aren't
okay,
puzzles,
there are-
the puzzle is finding the shrine.
Yeah, I guess.
Right.
Except for one
Or
of them.
doing
Except
something
for
to
one of
unlock
them in
it.
the snow. That's just one that you can stumble upon, and it's like, cool, you made it here. Here you go.
Is that,
Well,
is
I
that
guess-
the one that's like under the ice shelf? It's got like
Yeah.
the frozen water around
well,
it?
that one, the challenge is just getting under there without dying.
Right, because you die pretty quickly in that water.
Right.
It's not like intellectually challenging, but getting there isn't the easiest, assuming you're not just late game and you have a bunch of food to heal you instantly so you can swim there.
It's basically just congrats, you collected enough hearts to survive over here, or you collected enough food to
It's
get over
it's
here.
basically the Master Sword.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, yeah, like it's like I don't want to come off as like sounding like I have a problem with the shrines, because I thought they were all pretty good for the most part.
Even
And
the tilt and tumbles.
But
Those
I
are
do
great.
wish, I do kind of miss them expanding upon puzzles more.
Yeah, yeah,
That was definitely something that was missing. Because
Yeah.
you see something and you're like, wow, that was really neat, really clever. What's next here? And it's like, oh, the shrine's done.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's difficult the way, obviously we all know the structure of the game. You get everything at the beginning, so it's really hard to have any kind of sense of progression in terms of puzzle solving.
The shrines would just have to be longer unto themselves. Like you couldn't have two shrines that have the same concept. Just one does it in a more sophisticated way, because there's no guarantee that you would encounter that shrine second after the one that introduces the puzzle concept.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have minded some shrines being roadblocked behind certain abilities that you'd have to get.
Yeah, and see, that's what I was thinking too, because actually I just finished the game today. I just beat Ganon today.
Is that
Uh,
actually true?
Yeah, and I spent the better part of the day grinding out like side quests and stuff. So I was really feeling like the late game fatigue, I guess. And so I was just sitting here kind of like ruminating on it and thinking about it, and I agree with that. I wouldn't be opposed to like whole areas being blocked off by things like that.
I mean, they already had roadblocks in the form of like clothes that you might not have, or
Right.
materials that you might not have to make a potion to get through.
It was almost too soft though. There's
Yeah,
so
'cause
many ways to get around that.
Yeah,
I kinda like
any
that, though.
temperature be offset by having just general healing items, even if you have to burn through them pretty aggressively. If you're in like the northern portion of the map where it's too cold, well, if you just have things to restore your hearts when you get down low, you can still explore there.
And
Right.
that's
Nothing's hard gated.
And I mean,
I hope-
I'm sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that Matt said he liked that, and I agree with that. I agree that like you should be able to go wherever you want, but I almost wish it was like a little bit harder
I
to go
guess
to
so.
certain places.
Yeah, there is the only I guess one thing I do also like about the old Zelda games is how you get a sense of progression from like you'll be able to go in one area of the game, but then you go to the right and it's like, oh, there's a stone here I can't lift. I can't go to this section left. And then you get an item and it's like, oh, I can go to that section now. I wonder what's there now.
Right.
And that's definitely missing
Yeah,
from this
but
game.
I think
that's
yeah.
the sense of exploration of the game more than makes up for any of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the climbing mechanic in the game is actually the most impressive part of it.
It's pretty good.
That almost every surface in the game is climbable, and it lends such a level of interactivity with the world that makes basically going back to any other open world game feel very trivial by comparison, almost restrictive.
Yeah.
Which is kind of counterintuitive to the idea of being open world.
I wonder how Todd Howard feels about this game.
As a testament to stupidity of people, I once got into an argument with someone who hated the climbing and wanted it to be more like the Uncharted series, where there's only designated climbing spots. Designated climbing spot.
I think it's worth mentioning that the climbing mechanic as we know it was an accident.
Is it?
Really?
Oh, was it?
Because what I read is that they wanted to introduce a mechanic where Link would like jam his sword into the wall so you could like recover stamina.
Mm-hmm.
So it would basically just make climbing just an automatic thing. You wouldn't have to worry about anything.
Oh, okay.
But apparently Miyamoto vetoed that for a completely stupid reason, I think. But it ended up because Miyamoto's a fucking retard. It ended up making the climbing so much better because you actually have to position yourself in certain ways that makes it like strategic.
Right.
And it's almost like a game unto itself, climbing shit.
I would say the climbing mechanic is literally perfect as it is in the game.
It is.
So I distinctly remember the first time in the game that the climbing mechanic like clicked with me, that I realized what it was.
Yeah.
There on the Great Plateau, there's like this cliff by the old guy's house that you have to chop down a tree to get to, and then there's a bunch of outcroppings for you to stand on and recover your stamina to get all the way up there.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I went to climb there, and it's just like, wait, I can climb this wall? Like this great big fucking wall? And I would just go from level to level, recovering my stamina, getting up there, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this huge cliff, you can literally climb it. I saw this mountain, and I climbed it. And that blew me away. Just something that in basically any other game, it's like I have to find another way up this mountain because this is a steep fucking wall. And you just got up there, and there's nothing telling you to go up there. You don't have to get up that mountain that way. And I just, you just felt like maybe I can do this, and you do. Yeah. And it was such a great moment in the game. It was one of, like, in my first hour or two of gameplay, and having finished the game months ago, it still sticks with me.
Right. There's a lot of that.
Such a great mechanic.
It's like the whole game, like, I think it's easy to forget, like with any game, when you play it enough, it, becomes second nature, and it gets kind of old no matter what. But that sense of freedom that you get in the first, like, I don't know, several hours of the game, several dozen hours of the game, it's really hard to compare to anything else.
It just doesn't feel like any other game that you've played.
Like, everything feels natural, and everything, like, if you think of something, if you think of a way to solve a problem, you can execute it usually.
Right. And what's crazy about this game is how many options you have at your disposal to do literally anything. Like, you go into it, like, if you watch speedruns of this game, like, you go into a shrine.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's surreal. Like, you go into a shrine and it's like, oh, I gotta do this little puzzle here. You see a speedrunner do it, they're like, okay, I'm gonna just put this bomb here. I'm gonna jump on my shield, do a bomb jump, and then just blow myself up into the shrine area.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the moment that made me feel the dumbest is when you get to the jungle area, and there are all these little things that are covered by metal sheets, and the only way I could figure out to get them off to get like the treasure underneath was, you stop them with time, and then you waste your weapon durability hitting them.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to Funk about this, and he's like, why didn't you just put the octo balloons on them and lift them off? And I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. I can outdo you, Steve. In that same area, there's like this, I don't know if it's a shrine quest, but you have to get lightning to strike in a certain place.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to get it to hit rocks.
Yes, and I'm like, so I know that if I stand around with a metal weapon then lightning will strike me. So I just need to stand on top of this wearing metal, and then it'll explode. And, you know, it does it. I'm like, great, I'm a genius. I figured it out. And then I'm talking to somebody later, and I think, yeah, so it's Colin. He's like, yeah, I just put like a sword on top of the rock and ran away. I was like, what?
That reminds me. I remember when I was doing. I remember Funk. It was me and you. We were like in a call together. Well, everybody. I think Steve and I think Colin was here too. But I was playing it, and I was like, oh, I'm doing this quest where I have to figure out why lightning keeps striking this area. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm guessing it has to do with the dragon flying around, and you're just like, no. And I'm like, wait, what? And so I just I'm like, so wait, what's there? And I climb up to the top, and there's just an axe on top of the thing.
And I thought the same thing. I'm guilty of literally everything that everyone has said.
And I just start laughing because I was like, wow, that's amazing. That's actually amazing that was the solution.
Of course it would work that way.
Of course that's what it is.
I just love how in the beginning of the game, it basically just slaps you in the face with this being the complete antithesis of what the rest of like the 3D Zeldas have been for the past 15 or so years. Where if you ask the old man for help, he just says, you really have to learn some self-reliance, my friend.
And people complain a lot about how you pick up basically your entire arsenal of skills in the first area of the game, and then, you know, that's it. You just go out and play the rest of it. You don't pick up an item every dungeon. And I really like that. I think that's what enables a lot of this I don't know, flexible problem solving to the various shrine challenges and the quests and whatnot. If everything was kind of gated along where, well, I don't have the gauntlets yet, so I can't pick up this stone to access this area.
Yeah,
then it's a lot harder to make it so those gauntlets could be one of 5 ways of solving this one shrine in the early game. You know,
and I mean that's the problem with, I guess, when you look back with traditional 3D Zeldas, is that like every dungeon, like, you know, you're going to be using the new item you acquired for like every puzzle pretty much.
Right.
So it's really not really very cerebral in any way.
And they mitigate that by having things in the overworld. Like Twilight Princess had a lot of this where you'll encounter some statue that you can't interact with, but some later dungeon item lets you control that statue and move it around, and you're like, well, I guess I got to come back here later.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool that later game things unlock rewards that you find in the early game that you can't access yet. But I don't know. I don't think that's like particularly great gameplay to find something and then have to mark it down that you want to come back here later.
Right. I guess when you think about it, it's like, what the fuck's the point?
Yeah.
Really.
I'm glad that that's how it worked for older games in the series, but I'm not sad to see that go.
Yeah, I guess so. I can see where that line of thinking.
I will say I do kind of miss heart pieces. I know you basically get that with shrines, but it's like when you just kind of get hearts in this game, it doesn't feel as
I
don't know, interesting than when you in Majora's Mask, when it's like, oh, I solved this problem and I got a heart piece for it, and I feel good for that.
And yeah. I think that's it. That the side quests don't reward them; only the shrines do.
Yeah.
When you got a heart piece off of a side quest in Majora's Mask, it felt like something really big. Whereas in these, you just get something checked off in your quest log, and maybe some rupees or something. But yeah, so they technically still exist in the game, but it just doesn't feel the same.
Right.
And the game gets easier as you go.
That is true. I mean, I think that's true for every Zelda game.
Yeah, but it is weird though, right? Because the entire game is built around the idea of making the last boss as easy as possible.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense story-wise, because the whole point of like going through all these beasts, all these divine beasts, is to weaken Ganon.
Right. Yeah. It makes sense. But
maybe it should have given you like an extra boss fight though.
Maybe.
No, but it's also cool that you can just go fight him whenever you want.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Just beat the game at any time.
But
so.
it does fuck up the pacing in a gameplay way.
I do kind of wish that you just had the boss rush just in general at the end, because I think that would be just neat, just having a boss rush.
I'm not a fan of boss rushes.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just liked fighting the bosses in this game so much that it would be nice to be able to fight them again.
I think
I'm
the
kind
only
of surprised to hear that. A lot of my boss encounters were so like low intensity because by the time you get to them, assuming you're not just running through the dungeons immediately, you have enough equipment that it trivializes a lot of the fights.
It wasn't like they were never hard except for Thunderblight, but
Yeah.
but they weren't hard, but they were really fun. Like Windblight Ganon, just fighting him, having all those little laser things like bounce lasers at you,
Yeah.
and just running away from lasers and just seeing all these explosions and shit going off. It's like it's not difficult, but it's fun.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I really hope that there are some more challenging bosses in the future like that, where there's not necessarily a puzzle to the boss, but it's just kind of some interesting attack patterns.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, like Thunderblight was good. Thunderblight was
Yeah.
good.
Thunderblight felt like something out of a freaking Dark Souls game.
Yeah, almost.
I also think the Lionels kind of fit that criteria, despite
The Lionel-
not being bosses.
Fighting Lionels are like one of the most fun things in the game.
I
love
thought the bigger enemies out on the field were a lot more intense than the bosses. Like I remember running across the first time you run across one of those giant rock golems,
Oh god, yeah.
and like you're standing on the rock or something, and it just starts moving and coming out of the ground.
Yeah.
Let
It
me
was
tell you,
hilarious. It was awesome. I loved it.
when I got the
Like
Switch
climb
version
up
of the
on
game,
it. I was in love with that. I loved it.
when I got the Switch version of the game and I was replaying it, I got to that first golem on the Great Plateau, and I was like, all right, let's see if I can actually beat this with all this shitty gear, and I somehow managed to do it, and I was like that felt way better than anything I've ever done.
Yeah. Those were definitely.
Although when you do encounter them later, it's pretty much just okay, just equip super strong two-hand weapon and spin to win.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but that's
It is still fun though.
I'll take those great early game experiences, even if it becomes easy in the late game. Like the first time I encountered a Hinox, I was beside myself. It was
Oh
wonderful.
yeah.
It was
I mean, even when the game becomes easier, it's still just really fun to fight things and beat the shit out of everything.
'cause you
So I want to know
Hmm?
which one of you pussied out the first time you got to Eventide Island.
No,
I did.
I did not.
It took me it took me a really long time to do it, way more than it should have, but I beat it.
What do you mean by pussied out?
I assume lead.
Well, Fun can explain.
Yeah, so the first time I got there was the first time that I had gone to that village that's nearby. I forget the name of it. It's like
Lurlin?
no, not that one.
Patano.
Hateno.
Yes,
Patano.
and I saw that shrine out in the middle of the ocean. So I fly there, do that, and this was still really an early game. And then I see this island, so I'll go explore that. So I take a raft, get over to the island. The whole Eventide thing happens, and I'm like, oh shit. So I try to do it, and eventually I come across the Hinox that's there, and I'm like, wow, this is the second time I've seen one of these things. I can't do this. So I try to kill it, get browned just off my ass. And I say, you know what? It respawned me, first of all, off the island, so I'll come back and do this later. So I did, in fact, pussy out. When Steve told me, and I think it was Steve, told me the strat of just flying onto or gliding onto a Hinox, taking the stupid orb and running away. I was like, what the hell? You
Okay.
can do this?
Okay, when I went to the island, I completed it the first time. It took me a while. I tried that. I tried flying onto him, and he fucking woke up.
Maybe you just suck.
I didn't know you could stand in the Hinox's hand while it's
Oh yeah.
and it'll
you can stand in his hand. He doesn't
You
wake
can
up.
do that?
yeah,
Yeah.
you can stand in his hand and he'll scratch his stomach or something, and it'll push you up onto his stomach.
Bravo, Kojima.
Yeah, that's why this game is just great. It's shit like that. It's wonderful.
Did you know apparently you can attract fish by dropping certain food that has the same attributes of that fish?
Oh my God.
For example, if you can attract fish that are stamina, what is it, Staminoko base or something? You can attract stamina based fish,
Base.
bass,
Bass.
whatever.
Oh my God.
You can attract those.
Oregon.
You can attract those fish with a stamina mushroom, for example, like a stamina fish
I-
with a
I
stamina
didn't know.
mushroom. This is something I did not know until like just the other day, and I was amazed by that. I
Games
also
have
like
a lot
how-
of technology.
It's amazing how much technology is in this game. Like this is legitimately like one of the most. That's the other thing. I love how physics based everything is. Like there's a reason why Half-Life 2 is my favorite game, and there's a reason why I fucking love this game too. And physics based stuff is partially why.
Oh yeah, and there's lots of cool shit. Like I was just watching a WebM of a guy fighting a Guardian by attaching a balloon to a bomb, blowing the bomb to the other side of a river where the Guardian was, and blowing it up, which threw the Guardian into the river, and then he blocked it off with the ice to stop it from leaving the river. And it's like I never would have even thought of doing that,
Literally bullying a Guardian.
but it's insane. There was another one where I think what he did was he took a log, he stasised it. This is the same river, mind you. He hit it so it would shoot across the river. He went to stand on the log, let himself get shot across the river, and then shot an arrow in its eye as he was flying across.
So
That's a legitimate strat for speedrunning. Where
yeah, I
like,
was gonna
they'll
say
cut
the speedrun strat.
they'll cut down a tree, and then as it's like still slanted, they'll do the time stop thing. They'll stand
Oh.
on it. Well, they'll hit it first. They'll stand on it, and then it hits them and makes them fly up at a super high velocity.
And then
And
they
then they
pull out
just-
the glider, and
And then they pull out the
coast.
glider, but they're going so fast that it just takes you across like the land so fast.
That's
It's insane.
insane.
It's
Like
wonderful.
it'll make you go so fast that like sometimes the game will like freeze for half a second to load the next zone. It's crazy. It's great.
There's a really good video, and I'm sure we're all familiar with it. The donkey video
Oh,
on Breath of the Wild,
Hmm.
where it's just him dicking around with enemies and the physics in the game. So he'll like the way you can stasis enemies and then knock something out of their hand that they're going to throw at you, and then they get out of stasis and throw nothing at you, or you give them different weapons to pick up. They'll like you give them the Korok leaf, they'll pick it up and then blow gusts of wind at you, and that can just knock you off a cliff that's nearby. There's just so many novel things you can do with Link's skill set in the game
I like
that you really just don't think of, but it all works exactly like you think it would.
I like how
That comes up. Yeah.
I like how if a moblin can't find a weapon nearby, he'll just like pick up a bokoblin and just throw them at you.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah, if there's a moblin, if there's like a moblin and a bokoblin next to each other, and like it notices you, if it doesn't have any weapon nearby, it'll just pick up the bokoblin and throw them at you. It's great. And also, what else was there in that video? Oh, there's also the part where he baits like a bokoblin to hit a box like while it's stasis. So he's like making the bokoblin hit the box, and then he baits the bokoblin to walk in front of the box. And when and stasis like goes off, it just flies at the bokoblin.
Really good.
It's hilarious.
It's just amazing how many things you can do in this game.
I was
Anything else you guys want to talk about this game?
I was just gonna
Um,
bring up as a quick aside. I was surprised by because I got the game maybe like 5 days to a week after it came out, so I was reading impressions before I played it. I was surprised by how many people ragged on how little of a story there was when I thought it was pretty story heavy for what it was.
Who fucking cares about the story in a Zelda game?
I guess yeah,
It's all the same shit.
it is.
I
Like,
don't think.
maybe-
Look, I don't think the stories in the 3D games have necessarily, since there've been these are the ones that have actually had attempts at storytelling, which is.
Well, I
you know,
mean, okay, like Majora's
but I don't
Mask.
think any of the stories in the 3D games have ever been really bad or anything
No,
like that.
none of them are bad. It's just that they're all most of them are very just like just kind
Straightforward.
of there and straightforward. Like Ocarina of Time story is pretty.
Is Ocarina of
Simple.
Time story is like a quintessential hero's journey, and I think it's actually a perfect hero's journey.
It is. It's really good. Like for what it is. Like, and then you have Majora's Mask, which is like one of the weirdest ones. Like some Zelda games have really weird ones. Like Link's Awakenings story is actually very different than what you would expect from a Zelda game. Same thing with like I guess like what else? Like Twilight Princess is basically just kind of like a retreading of Ocarina of Time in a sense. Kind of, sort of.
Say so.
Yeah, except with furries.
Short stats. Thank you very much.
Wind Waker's is kind of different.
It's different, yeah, but I don't think everyone always remembers the Ganondorf speech at the end, which is
that
great.
Is true. That is true.
It's a great little moment, and I hope it's never expanded upon in any Zelda game ever, because I'm sure it'd be ruined. But for most of the game, it's again fairly straightforward. I love the setting of Wind Waker more than I love the storytelling.
Yeah.
I really like Skyward Sword story too.
Really?
I do.
A lot of people felt like it was a little too heavy on the story.
I mean, it's definitely much more heavy on story than any other Zelda game. It's like, I think it's like the first Zelda game that kind of really felt like it had like actual cutscenes.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like like the way it's actually like directed in a sense.
Right. Yeah.
Way more so than like any other Zelda game. Kind of like how like I kind of got the same feeling out of like Pokemon Sun and Moon. Mm-hmm. Where it actually felt like you could probably take the cutscenes from the game and turn them into like a show or something. Whereas you like really can't do that with like
separate thought. We originally did plan to do a Sun and Moon podcast, and I was going to say that I did not mind the perhaps overemphasis on story in that game.
I didn't mind it either.
Bad. Sun and Moon were like the worst fucking Pokemon games. I swear to God. They're so bad. I don't know how anyone can
defend them. If that's not your cup of tea, like that's fine. I appreciated that. I thought the storytelling in general was better, even though like, wait, why are we talking about Pokemon?
Because I was talking
Why are we talking about Pokemon?
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, save it for another podcast. We'll save it for another podcast.
Or save it for Pokemon Star.
Yeah, we'll save it for Pokemon Stars. Actually, you know what? We'll probably save it for after this podcast.
Okay.
All right. I think does that wrap up Zelda?
Oh yeah, more like Breath of the Wild.
Taking a break.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, we are, but it's like I can't wait till the next Zelda game where everyone retroactively shits on this one now.
that's the cycle,
Zelda
right?
cycle.
What's funny? Oh my god.
All right, well, we're taking a break. We'll be right back.
Yes.
And we're back. So let's talk about ARMS. Who wants to talk about ARMS?
Oh god.
Who here has ARMS?
Another
we
game
all
that I
have arms. Steve.
Okay, who here played the global test punch of ARMS?
I didn't play the global test punch, but I did play a demo of the game at a Switch event in the city.
Wow.
Back when it only had 5 characters to its name, and I was forced to use the shitty motion controls. So
okay, all right, let me stop you there. Let me stop you right there because the motion controls are great.
No,
are they?
No. Well,
yep.
Okay. Here's the thing about the motion controls: they work perfectly fine. They just have the same problem that all games with motion controls have, especially more complex ones like this, where it's like, if I have to spend even like half a second thinking about how to move my hands to play the game has already failed. Because that's time that's, you know, especially in like a fighting game, like a split second matters. And when I'm playing with like a normal controller with just buttons, I don't ever think about which buttons I'm pressing because it's just like, I've been playing games for like almost 30 years. It's like an instinctual thing for me now. But like with motion controls, I actually have to think about like where my hands are in 3D space. And especially with this game, because you have like, there's so many different motions that are mapped to the controls. Like you gotta move with them, you gotta punch with them, you gotta grab with them. In addition to also pressing the buttons to do stuff. It's just too much. So the first time I played the fucking test punch was with the motion controls, and it felt like I was playing Wii Sports Boxing again, you know, which is like a fun, stupid, casual thing, but, you know, I just wasn't getting into the game. And as soon as I tried it with a Pro Controller, I was like, okay, this feels like a legit video game now.
I mean,
so as somebody who did not play the test punch, what are the motion controls?
So
Okay, so you hold the controllers, you know, the two separate little controllers, not with the the Joy-Cons, and you have to basically make them face each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't hold them like you would normally hold them. You hold them upright, like you're actually going to punch with them.
Yeah, and then L dashes, R jumps, and everything else is motion. You move both controllers to the left to move to the left, both controllers to the right to move to the right,
You can
and
go forward and back.
You jab to punch, forward and back, and you jab to punch.
And you kind of make them go inwards if you want to block.
And extend them both at the same time to grab, and you could also curve your punches by, actually curving your hand.
Which, as I understand, you can't really curve the same way with a standard control setup.
You can. That was like the first thing I tried, and it works.
But I don't know. I heard there was an issue with something like moving and curving or something, or moving and...
I think that's it, is that moving and curving is more difficult.
And I think, like, I typically agree with you, Steve, in that, like, I don't buy motion controls, but I didn't buy motion controls with Splatoon, and now, like, every Jap uses motion controls. And
well, the thing is, like, they are absolutely more precise. I just find them very unnatural.
Oh my god.
No, I totally agree with that, but I think this could be another case like Splatoon, where if you get used to them, if you take the time to get used to them,
you're just better at the game. You just have a major. I guess this is a weird term to use, but you have a major leg up on the competition.
I don't think the difference in this case will be that much, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially because, and this is also another problem I had with this game, is that it's too slow paced.
Yeah.
Like, moving is slow, dashing is slow, punching is slow. And it's all by design, because it's supposed to be like, it's not like a fast paced fighter. It's more like boxing. It's very methodical.
Yeah.
It's like very methodical in what you have to do, and if you punch, you have to kind of commit to that.
Right.
But I just didn't. I wanted to play this at a faster pace.
Yeah, I think time will tell in respect to the controls, but I thought for motion controls, I was pleasantly surprised with how good they were.
Yeah, it's like.
I wasn't expecting them to be bad. I was definitely expecting them to be responsive.
Yeah, they completely work, but it's just like I don't find that very compelling, and like I said, it feels very unnatural. It's like I actually have to stop and think about everything I do.
Yeah, I get that, but
which is completely counterintuitive to how I've played games all my life.
As plebish as this sounds, I got really into it using the motion controls. I literally stood out of my chair.
Oh no!
And used them. I don't know. I really enjoyed it, but
but like I said, it just feels like Wii Sports Boxing though. It's like this is like when you play at motion controls, it's like a dumb party game. When I played with Pro Controller, it felt like a real video game.
Yeah.
Well, when ours was first revealed, I thought it was. I kind of rolled my eyes at it. I wasn't really interested in it.
Yeah.
And then they revealed Min Min.
Then they revealed Min Min, and my interest was piqued. And then they revealed Helix, and I thought, okay, maybe there's something interesting to this.
And then they revealed Splintel.
Not because Helix has a waifu factor, of course. In case you're wondering.
The infinitely high waifu factor.
Yeah, that says so on his stat page. And now that I've played, I think 4 rounds of the Test Punch, I can definitely say that ARMS is not worth $60, and it's probably not worth $40.
Yeah.
First and foremost, this is just me personally, but
very cool.
Who the hell is gonna play ARMS with me? Like none of my friends are gonna wrap their heads around this game and want to play it with me. And then there's you guys, right? But how often are we like, okay, let's go 1v1 each other, just us in this video game?
Okay, here's the question: can you spectate?
Probably not, because it's a Nintendo game.
Right. So
I don't know, but regardless, I'm not sure I'd be down for that.
I can almost see that being like a once in a while kind of thing if you could spectate, but
yeah, we already know that the free-for-alls are kind of clusterfucks.
Oh
they're
god,
dumb.
yeah.
It's basically like you grab someone and then the other person grabs you. It's just waiting to be last in line to grab someone.
Yeah. Volleyball sucks.
Volleyball
God,
sucks.
yes.
And yeah, it is kind of slow because there's not a wealth of attack options in the game. Even something like Smash Brothers, which is a very simple game, has like 20 attacks per character. Here we have under 10. So even though individual characters kind of have these specific attributes, it doesn't feel like there's enough of a difference between them. It feels like the game is all just kind of baiting and mind games.
Like if you learn one character, you've learned them all.
I think that's cool, but I think my problem with it, my biggest problem with it was that the stages are too fucking big for the way.
Yeah, they are kind of big.
They're just massive.
Yeah, and if you could move around a lot faster, I think that
it would be fine.
That.
It'd be great, actually. But like the combination of like the fact that you have to like crawl around the stage and like how big they are, it's just not fun to try to approach someone. And in 4v4s, you just stand in the corner and wait for everyone else to kill each other. It's stupid. I said 4v4. I meant four people in a match.
Yeah. Although the 3-man free-for-all, it can be at least really entertaining when you and the other guy have formed an unspoken pact to just fuck with the third guy until he's gone.
Yeah, this game honestly, like, it's better than I thought it would be, but Colin's right. Like, I would never pay full price for this. I don't even know how much single player content this can offer.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's people are saying that's going to be like another Splatoon, and it may very well be. All the gaming news sites and channels and shit, like whatever gaming bread rolls and the Switch buddies. These are not real channels.
Can we start a channel called the Switch Buddies?
Yeah, all these people are shilling the hell out of this game. They're like, oh yes, it's actually quite a deep fighter once you get into it. It's like, fuck, this is actually a game for babies.
Well, no.
Right? I use that term a lot, but it's not like Splatoon where it feels like anyone can pick it up and enjoy it for hours on end. Of any age group, it really does feel like a game for kids.
Right.
It's very simple. I'm not sure how much it would really hold my attention. In fact, when I was in the 4th test punch, I only played for about 20 minutes out of the hour before I really felt like I was done. Like I had enough of ARMS.
No, I know V can be hyperbolic when it comes to this kind of thing, but this really is a case of the Switch has no games, so people are latching onto things that are exclusive to it to justify buying it. If this runs any other console, I'm sorry, but it would be like a $15.
Yeah.
But I also think it's getting a lot of attention for its character design, which
it does have good character design.
It does.
I love the character, and honestly, I love the concept. Like I enjoyed playing.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, I love the look of the game.
It was awesome. It was fun to play, but it is kind of disappointing in that it feels like there's not going to be much to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not a traditional fighting game, and it's not Smash. It's like this weird middle ground where I'd rather have either one of those, but not really this.
Right, and
it almost seems like a more mobile Punch-Out, in a sense.
Yeah,
but it's also it's not as hardcore as Punch-Out.
That is true. Punch-Out is almost like a puzzle game.
But
now people punching, it's Punch-Out.
Well, no, they're both boxing. I get that comparison, but I think the biggest issue with the game is like it's just not something that you can play with your friends.
No.
And like Colin already said that it's just not something you can play with your friends, really. So why the fuck would I buy it when all of the main focus is the online aspect?
Yeah, if you're like above the age of 20, like you're not gonna have any friends willing to play this with you.
Yeah, and I'm like I can't even play with you guys because, like we said, the only fun way to play it is 1v1. So, what the fuck? I honestly would almost go out and buy it for $60 because I really enjoy the concept. I really enjoy the 1v1 matches, even though there's like problems with it. But like, how much am I going to get out of that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Frank,
Yeah.
what did you think of ARMS?
Of the 2 seconds that I played of it when I was in the city with motion controls.
Yes.
Is Frank the new Kenny?
I don't know how to feel about that.
I just wanted to give him another opportunity to brag about being in the city.
Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't much to brag about it. Most of it was the guy trying to teach me the controls, and I was like, I know it. It's pretty self-explanatory. You don't have to explain it to me. I'm 22 years old. I think I can figure it out for myself.
Now, what about the cute Puyo girl?
Oh, she was very cute. She was really sweet. I wish I got her number, but you know.
Wait, what is this story? What is this story?
I played Puyo
Frankie
Tetris
Stacks
with a
didn't
really.
get those digits.
Is this like when you met the incest girl? Is the ending the same?
No, it's not. Yeah,
This sounds great out of context. Wow.
No, so the Nintendo employee there who is operating the Puyo Tetris booth was really excited that someone else was amped about her game that no one else was going over to play. So I went over and I played her in a couple rounds, and she was like, "Oh, I just learned how to play Puyo 2 days ago, but I'm getting really good at it." So we played for a little while, and
Frank,
she
was her Puyo skill Dece or Dece minus?
It was pretty decent minus, but she was trying her best.
Oh my God.
Did you let her win?
No, I didn't let her win.
Wow,
Unfortunately.
you fucked up.
Yeah, you fucked up. You got to do that.
Yeah,
I'm on Frank's side here. Fuck that.
And that's why you go home alone.
Yeah,
It's
I guess
fine.
that's true, right? I mean, at the same time, like she was also kind of just being nice to me because it was her job. But
Colin, you don't understand. It's not about getting the girl. It's showing them that you can Puyo.
right, it's about asserting your dominance.
At this
If
children's
I
puzzle
let
game.
if I let her win, then she doesn't respect me as a person. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
clearly he's just like some casual scrub. He said that he's been playing this game for 3 years, but he let me win.
I bet he doesn't know how to
Well-
T-spin.
Yeah, I do know how to T-spin, and I wrecked you with several T-spins, Steve. Anyway, back to ARMS though. I mean, I was mostly just doing lots of grabs because it seems to be like a really good option.
Grab simulator.
Yeah, it's
We got a
basically
Ninjara main over here.
Fuck Ninja.
I was playing as Ribbon Girl, but
Am I the only one who, whenever I hear Ninjara's name, I just think of Linkara?
yeah, I was
Is that one of his many alter egos?
Does he also run towards the screen very fast?
Oh, shut up.
What happens when
He's
he
gotta-
hits me?
Ninjara is such a tryhard bait character. Why? Why do they have to include this shit?
Yo,
You gotta
give me the official ARMS character power rankings right now.
Is that a pro Ninjara?
I mean, number one is clearly Master Mummy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, except I was gonna call him Mr. Mummy because I forgot his name.
Is this like a who is the best character or who is the best character?
Power rankings, Colin. Interpret that however you will.
I feel like Bite and Bark are gonna be like OP. Like
No, they're gonna be crap.
He's just gonna be like a gimmick character, like Phoenix Wright in Marvel.
no, I feel like it's gonna be like a Rosaluma kind of thing, and they're like one of the best characters in Smash 4.
I'm sorry, Rosaluma?
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't ever use that phrase again.
Well, it is just one word, so I wouldn't.
I guess I'll just kill myself.
It's like Soulsborne.
Have you heard of the new ones, Matt? Roguevania,
Oh God.
Listen, okay.
No,
Wait.
wait.
Like Undervania?
Rogue
No,
Souls.
yeah. What was that one funk I found? It was
I-
like, oh my
I
God,
think
what
it
was
was
that one?
Undervania.
Something like that. It was like, yeah, Undervania or something like that. Like games similar to Undertale.
So, okay, the definitive character power ranking is Min Min, and then Mechanica, and then Ribbon Girl, and then Helix, then the rest, and then there's a big power gap, and at the bottom is Twin Tail.
You could
Die.
be more
Oh my
wrong.
god.
Die.
See, Twin Tail appeals to so many different markets. You got Twin Tails, obviously. You got the delicious brown. You got that ass. No, I guess that's it. There's only 3.
But
it's
those
very-
are 3
very-
big markets. But Twin Tails are disgusting. So
Shut the
She's
fuck.
she's a
I don't
deeper
care what
character than
it's
we've had
attached to.
before.
Twin Tails are the best. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, Colin.
This is why that Twin Tail show got a 5 out of 10 instead of a 4.
Colin, how do you feel about single ponytails?
those are fine.
Yes, good man.
Yeah.
No, those are great. Ponytails are great.
Ponytails are great, but there's such a steep drop off when you add the second tail.
No. It just gets no. It just gets better.
It depends on where the Twin Tails are.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
it like
You can't put them at the front of the head because then you just look like a bug.
What if you put two? What if you put 2 on the same side?
I'm thinking about that girl from Fan World that looks like a fucking cockroach.
oh god.
2 on the same side. That's like experimental shit.
Are we in the
I like-
age of avant-garde twin tails?
I'm not sure if they really count as Twin Tails, but there's like that one hairstyle where they like kind of droop over the shoulders. Or
Yeah.
something like I forget what that. I don't know what that's called. But
Yeah,
that's
I don't know what you
It's
call
called
that.
sexy. That's all that matters.
that's top tier.
Just
It's
Steve,
pretty
do you
good.
like it when they droop over the shoulders and each one covers a nipple?
It depends on whether they fix it in the Blu-ray version or not.
Oh my
Getting into very specific fetishes here again. Like,
Christ.
Just so everyone's clear, the girl who shows up with the yukata on is better.
Oh my god.
I agree. I'm with DL. I
you
stand
think
with
so?
DL.
I don't know. I think that the girl who just enjoys the date instead of bothering with the yukata. I think there's a charm. I think it's a charm there. You know what I'm saying?
I think she's impulsive and whorish.
The thing is, there's a certain etiquette that must be maintained on a date, and if somebody wants to cut corners, I'm not going to waste my time with them.
I don't think it's a matter of cutting corners. I think it's a matter of her not wanting to put on a pretense with you. I think it shows comfortability.
I think Frank might be right.
Well, no. So what?
Well, no, that is the pretense. That is the pretense. She's just a lazy piece of shit.
It depends on how long you've been together. If
Frank,
you've been together a long
consider this.
time, why does she need to bother putting on a?
Frank, consider this. What if you did
Right.
any amount of preparation for this date? You know, what if you got your hair all coiffed
Right.
and you're looking fine, and then
Yeah,
she
if-
just
if-
shows up.
If that's the case, if there's a disproportionate amount of effort happening, then that's a different story. But I don't think this implies that. I think
Yeah, there
The
needs to
fact-
be like a level of communication going
Right.
on for me to feel offended for that.
yeah, I think so. If I specifically asked her to wear a yukata and she didn't wear a yukata, I'd be a little like But like, I went out of my
That make
way
you go, "Hmm."
to look nice. But you know what I'm saying? If it's just a matter of like, hey, we're gonna go to the festival, right? Just come as you are, and we'll have a good time. And she doesn't show up in a yukata. I'm like, what do I care? She's here to have fun.
Yeah,
It's
what if
about-
the
it's
Yukata girl
about-
was actually kind of insecure? What if she's just really clingy, insecure, always trying really hard? She you won't let you give you your space.
That's
Like Kate
better
Catherine.
than the opposite. That's better than somebody who's like, I don't need to impress you. I ain't got to do shit.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't think so?
Listen, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how far this fans out. This is just one situation.
It's an isolated incident, right?
no, you're all just assuming too much. It's just
It's
No,
an
I think I'm not
attitude
assuming
thing.
enough.
It's an attitude thing.
They
Somebody-
both seem like sweet girls.
Somebody
the girl who wants to put the effort in. I mean,
Yes.
fucking putting on a yukata is very difficult.
It's clear
Right.
from this that she's inconvenienced by wearing the yukata. And that's what sells it. She's like, I went through this extra effort that I didn't want to because I know you would enjoy it. Whereas the other person's
Right.
like, I ain't pulling with that shit. I'm just gonna
No,
fucking.
but she's not saying that. Though. She's not saying, "Oh, I didn't bother." She's saying like,
That's what she means.
You gotta read between the lines, Frank.
That's what she means. And it's like, yeah, I mean, no, you don't want girls to be fake with you, but at the same time, it's like if you're going out on a date, no matter how long you've been together, there's a certain etiquette that you want to preserve
Right.
in order to keep things feeling fresh.
Right, but is the Yukata
All right, okay,
necessary,
all
though?
right. I changed my mind. Yukata wins.
Yes. Slay.
We did it.
Frank, do you not want date night to feel special?
No, I do want date night to feel special. I just don't know if the Yukata is what's going to seal the deal. You
Is
know
there
what
a
I'm
single
saying?
podcast member that
Wait,
can
am I
defeat
supposed to be
DL?
saying Yukata or am I saying Yukata?
You,
Wait, what was?
Yukata.
I lost you guys. Are we still talking about arms?
Essentially. So the thing is that the yukata brings with it an air of formality that you don't
Yeah,
get.
no, of
Post
course,
the
of course.
image in the thread so that people understand what we're talking about.
I just think yukatas are pretty cute too.
They're
Yeah.
adorable.
I think
Who's
they
gonna-
both-
who's gonna argue with
I
that?
think they
It
both
does
have
show,
their
does
charm.
show a lot of dedication and commitment to the relationship. If you're gonna go through the effort of putting on the yukata, yeah.
Of course,
Also, let's
especially
not-
if it took her 2 hours to tie the obi. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, that's the most cute thing about it, Frank. That this person was like,
Oh shit!
I
completely
can't
missed
figure this
that.
out, but I'm trying, taking all my time here to impress this guy that I'm going to see later, and he's
Okay,
gonna
yeah.
love this, even though I
Yeah.
can't figure it out.
The
Yeah.
2 hours basically just puts this, beyond the shadow of a doubt that the yukata was.
yeah, I'll concede.
And
All right.
lest we forget the superior hairstyle that accompanies the
Oh,
yukata.
God.
True. Yep.
There's just so much going on here. It's so dense,
A lot of layers.
and it's stylistically designed to be that way.
I don't know. I would date both.
Yeah. Okay. Probably.
Frank just wants a girl to show up to the festival.
Yeah, please, please. It's been 2 years since I got dumped at Disney World. Can we get a moment of redemption?
Let's reveal that on the podcast, boys.
Frank, you should hook up with a Love Live idol.
Oh my God! Trust me.
We're
If I
gonna
could, I
get Frank
would.
laid in California.
Oh my God! If I could date like Hanamaru Seiyu, I wouldn't a heartbeat. Like, oh, she's so gorgeous.
Is that like honkers?
No, that's Chica is Proto Honkers. Hanamaru is the bookish one.
Bookish.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the cast of the next Love Live Hentai Dojin.
No, I wouldn't be a faceless no name who rapes her. You know, I would treat her right. We'd go on a date or something. Her Seiyu's name is King. So if I get to hold her hand in California,
Wait, like the guy with the
Podcast about?
guy with the leopard head from Tekken?
no, yeah. That is the guy with the leather head King. Yeah. So if I get to hold her hand at the concert, or at least give her a high five or something,
Do,
I'll have glory of the King's hand.
do we have any other orders of business before we move on to letter time?
Is it letter time?
Yeah, so Frank has a Switch, and he's been too busy playing Puyo Puyo Tetris to play Breath of the Wild.
No, it's not even that I'm too busy to play it. You know, like I tried playing it. I'm
Let's
still on the
also
fucking-
point out that he's bought this game on like 4 other platforms that he's played before.
5 other platforms actually. I have it on 3DS, Wii U, Switch, PS3, and PS4. Oh, and Vita.
You own a Vita?
Yeah, I own a Vita. I own a Wii machine.
Laughing whores. That
Yeah,
thing.
and I own 2 copies of it on Switch. I own a copy of it on in the Japanese and on the English. And Funk has one of my PS4 copies.
Is Frank single-handedly funding the continuation of this series?
I mean, if that's what it comes to, then yeah, I'll buy. You know,
Funk
whatever.
literally stole your copy of Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Yeah, he did. I let him borrow it, and like he just never gave it back to me.
Frank, I haven't seen you since then.
Yes, you have.
No, I keep calling up Frank, and I'm like, Frank, let's hang out this weekend. And he's like, no,
No,
I don't want to come over. And like,
No,
Frank,
that's
I
not
got your
true.
copy of the game. I got to give it back
That's
to
not
you.
true.
And
Why are you lying
then
to
he
your
just hangs
teeth?
up.
You're
That
lying
hangs
to your
up.
fucking
Oh.
teeth.
That's fucked up.
Frank owes me so many sandwiches from Wawa.
I owe you one sandwich from Wawa, and I'll get it to you next time I see you.
Unreal.
I miss you. Anyway, back to Zelda. So I'm on the Great Plateau, and I can't get immersed in it. I need to just sit down one day and just dedicate a lot of time to it because I haven't had a lot of time to just like sit down with a game and just play it for an extended period of time. It's just, it's one of those games where I just need to like explore the fucking map.
Somebody load up the amount of time Frank has put in the Puyo Tetris right now.
It's like over 30 hours combined on both.
Wow. Shit.
But
had I known that a yukata was so hard to put on, because I was ignorant of this fact, I would have immediately sided with the yukata girl.
It's okay, Colin. We all get things wrong. As long as you're willing to admit that, then no one can really begrudge you.
Yeah.
What did you look this up?
No, on the image it says that it took her 2 hours to put on the OB.
Is there
I'm wondering why Colin's talking about it again.
No, I'm just trying to cover my bases here.
Right. The casual listener will think Colin a plebe if he doesn't call us out.
There needs to be an anime where there's a scene in it where you just see a cute girl struggling to put on a yukata.
I'm sure that exists.
I'm sure there are animes.
Is this the most patrician fetish?
Is that what it is now? It's a fetish?
I mean, I would think so.
I'm sure it is for somebody out there.
Do you know how low the bar is for something to be a fetish? It's insanely low. You've never even watched... What was that show, Steve? With Seiren.
Oh, God.
The fetish bar was so low.
Oh, my God, yeah.
The mark from the sweatpants?
Yes, the mark below the navel that your sweatpants form when they constrict your skin a little too tightly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, you know what? Maybe you're just a level above me on this.
Degeneracy power rankings.
Let's get to the letter, shall we?
So, Frank, do you know where users can send in their questions if they want it answered on the Sonic Board podcast?
I guess I would PM them to you or email them to sonicboardpodcast@gmail.com.
How did you remember that?
I don't know.
That's right, and you can tune in next year when we have the next Sonic Board podcast to hear your questions answered.
We'll totally get to it. But first, let's start off with Omega the Robot, who sent in 2 questions.
Oh, wow.
Question 1. What's the closest you've ever parked to a fire hydrant?
We should do this in sequence, so Steve...
I don't drive, so...
Okay.
Well, I mean, you have to lead.
What do you mean?
You're the host. We can't have everyone talking at once.
Yeah, you have to call out what the sequence is.
Just speak up. If you have an answer, just speak up.
We all have an answer. We all parked at some point.
All right, I once parked too close to a fire hydrant in the city, and my car got towed, so I had to go down to the tow pound in Chelsea Piers, and this big black guy was like, "Get in the Prius." So I got in the Prius, and he drove me over to my Subaru. And then my Subaru wouldn't start in the tow pound. It was just an embarrassing night overall.
Wow, sounds like you really towed the line.
Shut up.
Yeah. I think it was like maybe like you're supposed to be like 8 feet from the hydrant or something like that, and I was only like maybe 3 feet or something like that. And I was sandwiching this guy that was in front of me between myself and the guy that was in front of him. So he could get out, so he must have called the police or something like that and had me towed or some shit. So that was not fun.
So it's hard for me to answer this the same way other people will, because whenever I park along the side of the road, I never quite get close enough to the road. Like there's a bit, I don't know, like a foot and a half between me and the curb. Mm-hmm. So at any time I want to calculate how close I am to the fire hydrant, I have to kind of do the Pythagorean theorem, because it's not quite the height of the triangle that is the distance, but the hypotenuse.
Right.
So I've never been towed. But I've never been towed, but I may or may not have been against regulation.
Did you get a ticket?
Did not get a ticket, despite my heinous parking, Frank. I've never gotten a ticket.
Nice.
I've only ever been hit.
Oh.
It's great. But
You've never gotten a ticket in your life?
No, I've been avoiding the long arm of the law.
That's awesome. I'm jealous.
I'm fantastic. My driving is just fucking gas. DL can tell you that there's this one time where I was going through an intersection in a parking lot, and it just blew through it, and people were coming perpendicular to that intersection on both sides.
Right.
And both of them just start like blazing their horns at me as I almost hit both of them.
Yeah, we could have died that day.
We could have died. So I pull over in the parking lot. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell just happened? And then one of the cars that drives behind me, people are like climbing out of their windows to flip me off, honking their horn. And I just start freaking out next to DL, like, what the fuck? What happened? What did I do? It's fucking brutal. So despite my status of never getting a ticket, I'm a heinous driver. So to answer your question, Omega, pretty close.
I've parked right next to a fire hydrant in a gated community, so never got ticketed for it, never got towed for it, but I've done so multiple times because that street can get pretty crowded. I've gotten a ticket once. It was a parking ticket because I parked on the street on the day of a street cleaning, even though I was typically, on top of that. Because, I'm an on top of it person, except the street cleaning had been rescheduled for a different day. So I thought I was parking on an off day, but in fact, it was an on day for the street cleaning. So I got ticketed.
How embarrassing.
Yeah, and it really pissed me off because I had just gotten, was coming back from the dentist. And I just had to look at that bill.
That's pretty fucking Jewish.
Yeah.
Very Jewish day, going to the dentist and then getting a ticket.
I was about one step away from just putting on the Reich, but otherwise, I've had a pretty clean driving record. So,
good man.
Well, I don't drive.
Huh? What? Hello?
DL says he doesn't drive.
Oh, okay.
Matt
All right.
drives.
I do drive, but I never drive anywhere that would force me to ever drive or ever park nearby a fire hydrant. So I don't think I've ever actually parked anywhere near a fire hydrant in my entire life.
How do you live such a crazy lifestyle?
I don't know.
If only Kenny were here to answer this question.
Oh God.
Can we just get a reprise of Driving with Mr. Kenny?
Remember that time he almost ran over that dog?
Yes.
Oh no.
And he was so happy about it too. The dog just runs away screaming, and Kenny just starts cackling in the driver's seat.
All right, Omega also wants to know: is there some kind of way to lock on to enemies?
Shut. Game doesn't tell you.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what he's referencing here.
I don't know why he decided to artistically latch onto this, as if it's that funny.
So DL asks about arms, right? He doesn't know how to lock onto enemies. So Mule kindly replies, giving him straightforward advice, and for probably the first time in months, Mule gets a like on his post from DL.
Not for lack of trying.
Yeah, and Omega replies with a strange, ironically bad post where he just says, "Hey, you should just kill yourself." I'm not entirely sure what the wording was. I probably have the Sonic 4 somewhere near me. I don't feel like going there. IGN loads too slow.
Every damn day.
Yes, but and he posts a bunch of reaction GIFs beneath this phrase. So DL decides to be ironic in his anger by ironically posting a shitty comeback.
Got him.
That'll
We're
teach him.
actually on multiple layers of irony here.
It's so deep.
Because I think DL is only merely pretending to be upset with this. And he's only pretending to do a bad toast.
I have the thread up right now.
Okay, alright.
If you want me to actually recite it. So
There's quite a storied history here.
DL says, "Is there some kind of way to lock onto enemies?" Omega's response is, "Haha, oh yeah, it's pretty easy. You just do it by killing yourself." Cue the never-ending reaction gifs.
Yeah, there are 10 different reactions.
One of which just happens to be a Ranma reaction gif.
And another one is the girl from Aramanga Sensei doing like the
Yes.
hustle.
And
then someone getting dunked on.
in which DL responds, kek, what a fuck, man, XD, I just fall off of my chair cause I couldn't and I can't stop laugh, XD. Oh my gosh, XD, fucking holy shit. I can't just stop laughing cause he just so funny, man. Holy shit. I just fall out of chair, simply lay epic, so Evan, the lay up and win. Phone for the win, lay bacon. Uploaded, good sir. I tip my fedora to you. Tips fedora. Say anyone atheists. LOL. Good meme. Sorry, I mean great meme. Great fucking meme, bro. I wish I could stop laughing, but I can't, man. Nice meme. I'll repost to Reddit. Lay. Thank you for like. Lay upvote. Wait till Lay Derpina hears about this. Epic meeting. Backslash. No. Is that forward slash or backslash? I think it's forward slash. Forward slash row. Forward slash B forward slash row. Bazinga. Zimbabwe. Is this a Lay new epic meme? Screen cap for that sweet karma. Fustro da. I used to be a Christmas, but then I took an arrow to the knee. Bazinga, Zimbabwe, top kek, topics of keks, Lay Nyan cat, ha, Lay mayonnaise, epic, not fucking epic ass meme. I love that fucking meme so much, man. Wait, let me just gets crack pipe out. Smoke some of that good 420 shit. Smiley face. Rip the bong. Ah, yes. That sure hit the spot. Okay, now repeat that fucking epic ass M-E-M-E. Jesus Christ. Help.
We just need to make a new segment where Matt reads shit posts.
Wait, that was a shit post? I'm gonna give that a like.
All right, next up, the Eternal Junior of the GCB wants to know.
Oh no.
How's a hamburger gonna kill Mega Man?
So what's the next question, Steve?
Unfortunately, we unfortunately don't have Kenny with us.
So, Funk, how's that football game?
Is that the other
Say
question?
football?
No. All right, Super Dementio sent me 10 different questions.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Bless this mess.
Number 1, do we all hate Dim?
Oh.
What?
God,
No.
we hate Dim.
I don't hate Dim. I just hate this idea that he's the best.
What?
But
When did this idea come
Dim
about?
is the best.
Oh, okay.
Number 2.
Dim's comfy. Dim's a comfy guy. Yeah.
I like his accent.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, the same.
Better than Frank's. Number 2.
Wow, holy shit.
Who's the worst character of the season? I assume he means the anime season.
Maybe he just means like life as a season. In which case it's definitely Mule, but
Oh my god.
outside of that,
Dunk on this man.
Who's the worst character of the season, Funk?
fuck, you're just gonna dump that on me? Jesus.
You're watching every show, so.
Yeah, it's too much. Probably Akko. She's a shit.
Wow,
That's
fuck
true.
you, man.
I mean, Frank, I like the show, but she's shit. She's a shit. She's the prototypical shit.
She's even gotten worse as time has gone on.
Yeah. Now she's rendered in 3D as a shit.
Clips through chair. Number 3. What is the most meh show of the season?
There's an answer to this.
There is. But I don't know,
But
like,
if it's a mesh show, you've probably forgotten it.
or dropped it. But that if I dropped it, I'd probably think it was
Yeah,
bad.
There are some
It's-
aggressively meh shows.
It's probably Bort.
Boruto.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna betray Matt here.
Huh?
I'm gonna say that the most meh show of the season is Alice to Zodoku.
Oh my god.
A lot of people
I
seem
mean,
to
I don't
really
know.
like that
I
show.
haven't watched anything after episode 5, so
Funk's just tired of being advertised to.
I'm aggressively advertised to.
it's not
insane.
like anything. It's not really anything all that great, but I enjoy it.
I enjoyed it at first, but now it's definitely dipped towards the meh.
That's
Okay.
Number 4. Why doesn't Kenny use his tactical visor?
That's a good question.
All right,
I don't know if we have an answer to that
I
one.
think Kenny thinks it's cheating.
On the count of 3, can we get a Kenny use your ult? So 1, 2, 3. Kenny,
Kenny, use
Kenny,
your
use your
ult.
fucking ult.
You guys couldn't synchronize that worth shit.
No.
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 Just like how Kenny couldn't synchronize his ult with our push.
Oh my god.
And Kenny he insists on playing Soldier, and I'll sometimes just pick Soldier to make Kenny play something else. But it doesn't work. He doesn't use that ult either.
Okay, number 5's a good one. So is Funk actually straight, or is that just a front and he was really gay this whole time?
It's a really good question, isn't it?
Yeah, right?
Dare I say, that's a fabulous question.
Wait, are you back to being gay? What the hell happened?
Nothing happened.
So something happened.
Oh my god. I don't know how long Dim has been around. How much of the lore Dim knows or does not know. But I will say that no one's getting an answer to this question.
God damn.
Well, Frank,
Mystery lives on.
Frank already knows, but I assume he's going to keep a lid on that one.
I'll plead the fifth.
Wow, what a trustworthy little boy Frank is.
Well, I mean, I am most likely to be introduced to Mom, right, Colin?
My mother is dead.
Not your mom, but I wasn't talking about you
So,
specifically.
Frank, you're most likely to stealthily spoon with somebody in the middle of the night.
That's true. The number of times I've been stirred from my sleep by Frank like cuddling with me.
Pretty big number.
I'm sorry.
You ever be forced to sleep on the floor? next to your
California's
own
gonna be
bed?
fun, right, guys?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What
yeah.
happens in California stays in California.
Wait, you guys were in California?
No, we're going to be.
Oh, okay. Where are you guys gonna be?
LA.
A Love Live concert?
Oh my god.
Colin, you should take the very long trip down to LA.
It's not particularly long for me.
Really?
Oh.
Where are you?
All right, we're gonna have Colin times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
LA is only about like an hour and a half away, maybe.
Oh my god.
We can get.
With
crunk-
that, I'm assuming
Colin
that's
times.
with traffic, by the way. With good traffic, it's actually very close.
So you are gonna come to Anime Expo with us, right?
No, why would I go to any con or expo ever?
I
Every
would.
time I've gone to one, I'm like, what the fuck is there to even do here besides try and get laid?
That's the thing. You've never been there with us.
I
Right.
mean, remember when we went to Anime Boston, DL, and we spent all night on Tinder trying to get girls, and one girl swiped us, and you tried this shitty pickup line that you never got the punchline to? FYI, the pickup line was, how many planets are there? And they were gonna say like 8 or 9 or however many, because it's up for debate now, I guess. And the response was going to be, well, there are only going to be 7 when I'm through with your anus. And he was,
Yeah, she didn't even let me get to the punchline.
Right, yeah.
Next time-
DL's game is immense.
Next time, just put up an ad for Persona Orgy, and
Yeah, that'll work.
There we go. Colin, get your best Persona cosplay ready.
None of the SMT shit though.
What was the one where you went around telling people to please vote for Bernie Sanders?
that was also Anime Boss.
Yeah, that was-
But he was very drunk for that.
Let's go.
I think it was less please vote for Bernie Sanders and more please vote for Bernie Sanders.
I was so drunk for the entire convention, I remember almost none of it.
The best was when we were about to go to some panel, and he was like, "Let's go," and we were trying to be like, all right, deal, we're gonna go. And he's like, "Let's go!" like louder. Like,
The best drunken happenings are when you just don't remember any of it.
Yeah,
You keep telling Frank to talk about the grill.
yeah.
he did. He also kept like we went to this stupid like trivia show, like it wasn't really trivia. It was like we had to like get up there and like draw responses or something like that, and the audience.
Yeah,
had
no,
to
it was
guess.
it was a panel where it was really embarrassingly bad.
Yeah.
There was this girl who was the host of the panel, and she would flash like some kind of like image, I
hentai
guess,
thing.
right?
Yeah.
Some kind of image like on the projector on the PowerPoint or whatever, and like the audience would have to like name what fetish it was.
Right.
And the way they did that was they had 3 whiteboards, and 3 people would come up, they'd write on the whiteboards, and then they'd show it, and whoever got it right would go on, and whoever got it wrong would leave and have to give their whiteboard to someone else. And that's what that was.
Right.
It's something you can bring.
But we basically tried to sabotage the convention by writing like Trump 2016 on like all of our answers. Like the whole shtick was that like you couldn't pass it to your friends, but we were all set up so that we were all sitting in different locations throughout the venue, so that like it would so that it wouldn't look obvious that we were together, and we would just write Trump 2016 for all of them. We just at one point she read it as Bernie 2016, and we were like, oh no. Anyway, we were all pretty drunk at that point.
So Colin, this is what you can be a part of.
Except it'll be better because
It'll be a bigger con.
and we won't be with my friends who are complete cucks.
Oh my god, he was such a fucking cuck. Fucking Emery. And you tried to like get a free T-shirt from like the Manga Gamer people by saying that your friend had cancer because she's bald.
Sometimes it works.
Oh, you've run this one before.
It's worked before.
Anyway, on to the next question.
So number 6, how funny is Omega?
He's pretty funny.
He's okay.
Omega's got a wide range. Sometimes he's hilarious. Other times he's not.
He's really going all in on something lately, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's been getting so savage as of recent.
I'm really interested to see where these like Taco Bell videos are leading.
Is he gonna murder someone?
Probably.
This is like, I said this before, but like watching those videos was like watching those like that like fucking Marble Hornets series with the Slender Man thing.
Yeah.
If you have, I don't know if do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
Well, there's like a series based on the whole Slender Man like mythos.
Okay.
That's
And
that's
this
called
was like
Marble
years
Hornets.
ago when this wasn't played out.
Right. And it's just like this guy like recording random shit on like a shitty video camera. And some of it's edited to have like some creepy shit happening in it, but for the most part it's just really dull. But you're always just waiting for the one video where something actually happens.
Right.
And that's Omega's recent
That's this.
contribution to the Clyde.
Yeah, I think Omega's a pretty darn funny guy. I mean,
He's pretty funny.
he's a guy who's definitely put his autism to good use.
All right, number 7. Did Steve scare DL off of Overwatch for questioning his diva skills?
That's very specific. Ouch.
So I think I know the answer to this one, and the answer is yes.
Oh.
That's why he was very surprised when you were playing tonight, DL. He messaged me. He's like, "Oh wow, DL's actually playing."
Oh my god.
No, I just don't have time for it as much. Sorry, I'm so bad with these.
Anytime somebody plays D.Va when you're not there, DL, we're all like, wow, that ult was so much better than DL's ults.
I can confirm this.
Wow.
You see, this sounds like we're making it up, but this actually does happen every time.
God.
So next in line to be muled is, of course,
no.
Frank, but after that is DL.
Like, you guys do know that's like my worst fear, right? Like,
Oh my god.
The sum of all, you're gonna arrive in California and none of us are there.
Yeah, well, you know what?
that would be
Frank?
that would.
You act like it will never happen at all.
No, I don't.
It doesn't really come off like your worst fear.
You know what? I'm sorry. I guess I should make more of an effort to be involved in the friend group. I'm
So
sorry.
not too much of an effort.
Right, of course, because if I do that, then I'm risking it. Like, there's no winning, right? It's like
Seeds.
Like,
if I distance myself, then I'm gonna get muled. If I get too close, I'm gonna get muled. I have to keep the perfect amount of distance. I hate playing games. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Frank, you love playing games. You bought Puyo 6 times.
There's 6 of us here. One of us is gonna have to get muled.
oh no.
Is this like some kind of survival game?
Yeah, right. Are we? You guys do know I love, like, death games where people get trapped in a room. So
We had no idea.
This would make a great premise for one of Frank's silly games, right? Someone's getting muled. And depending on how you play the game, it's a different person each time.
right, yeah, that would be interesting.
Number 8. Who is up to do some competitive when the off season is over? Well, I can tell you, us diamonds and up, right, Funk?
Oh hell yeah, I'm into
Yeah,
that.
we're grouping up.
Look,
Right.
look, I'll be happy to do competitive with you guys if you'll have me. I understand that my mechanical skill leaves something to be desired, but I generally have good game sense. You can feel free to deny that. This is speak as candidly as you wish.
No, Colin, I love playing with you. A, I think you're good. B, I love your attitude while playing. So you're one of my favorite people to play with. But you're not Diamond, so you're gonna have to just sit on the wayside.
That's true. That's true.
If you could put up with the grind of solo queue, Colin, you could get out of gold pretty easily. Like, you're definitely better than, you're way better than gold shitters.
I literally only play with you guys though ever since I got placed. So
Yeah, that's the problem. You get Jude into gold, and then it's like, okay.
I would highly recommend for next season doing your placements by yourself, because I think where you place is also limited by who you're grouping up with when you do your placements. So I think if you just do it on your own, you'll probably get a better sense of where the game actually wants you to be.
mm-hmm.
And I would highly also advise play the characters you're best at. Do not play support. Just play like Winston or something,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll do much better.
All right, that sounds good.
Because I know you get in this trap of playing Lucio.
Oh
and
yeah,
that's not good for your placements.
Or you could be like DL and I and group up for placements, get like 8 wins, and then still get platinum somehow.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, your wins and losses don't actually matter, especially at this point, because you've played so many seasons already. The game has a good idea of, like, where you're at. But because of that, the better you do personally will determine more about, like, in the general area your place. So you could probably place in plat if you personally do really well in your placements. So that's why I would say just play who you're best at.
all right. I'll try my best.
And remember,
Number 9.
if you get nerfed, you're off the team.
Oh my god.
Don't get nerfed. Number 9. Who is Frank's best worst girl?
What?
My best worst girl.
Best / worst. So one of each.
In what, Overwatch?
In
Or
anything.
just-
or
No, in
just
anything,
general.
in everything ever.
Who's your best girl? Who's your worst girl?
My best girl, like in anything ever, is probably Asuka from Eva.
Wow.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
She's like
Semen Demon.
she's so good. What a very excellent character. My worst girl from anything ever. That's a toughie. I don't know. I can't really think of one on the top of my head.
Give any answer, Frank. We need
Can we
something.
give
How about-
worst girl to Biba?
Biba.
Biba, fucking Biba.
How about the God, what's it called? How about the fucking the what's it Beyond the Boundary Girl?
Oh, she's bad. Oh, she's really fucking bad.
Yukai Des?
No, not her. The other one. The fucking the one who
The one who
just,
makes the disgusted face?
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that one.
Yeah,
I
she's
wasn't
bad.
thinking of her, but I guess that's another one.
Yeah, and my new favorite girl might actually be Shoko from Koei no Katachi, which was excellent. She's wonderful and she has a smile that needs to be protected, and I adore her with my life. She's precious.
Would she wear a yukata to the festival?
She did wear a yukata to the festival actually.
There you
Oh
go.
my god.
Wow.
But what about but Frank? What about you? What? How do you even say that? Ueno?
What? Ueno is amazing. She's such a cunt, but she's also like an amazing character. She's great.
Okay, what about for worst girl, Ereri?
Eriri from?
There's
Like,
nothing wrong with
From
her.
Bliblano.
she's
Oh,
terrible. She's clearly not worse.
Yeah, Eriri isn't great.
She's all right.
Look, she's got twin tails, which is bad already.
Oh
Her
no.
personality is garbage. I'm sorry.
You know who's another really good girl from a show that I just watched? Akashi from Tatami Galaxy. She's really good.
Oh yeah, she's pretty good.
Yeah, I like how she's afraid of moth. I think that's really cute. But there's also a symbolism to that, which I really enjoyed. In that he himself.
Most shows aren't deep enough for Frank. But this-
What?
I'm-
What did he mean by this?
This show is actually Kino.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Frank, are we both in agreement that Nina Mori is best girl from Fooly Cooly?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Memes. All right, last dim question. How is this anime season compared to recent ones?
I'm
do you
not
feel about
watching.
this season?
I'm not watching a lot this season, so
Yeah.
It's got Boku no Hero, so
Yeah.
you've got several pluses right there. But
it's mostly
everything
the
else
season of
looks
sequels,
really
isn't it?
mediocre.
So step aside, nerds. I think I'm watching the most of this season out of anybody here. I'm watching 15
Yeah, I think you are.
shows, which is a lot. And I would say that this season is just compared to other seasons. I don't even like anime. Every season I watch stuff and I just don't enjoy it. So this season is equally It's got the thing is when your standouts are sequels to other shows or
Yeah.
second runs, I give it a lot less credit for that. You know,
The
I want
standouts,
new originals.
the standouts this season are sequels and the second cores of shows from previous seasons,
Yeah,
And anime West Wing.
and cute, comfy romance show.
yeah. Sugi no
but
Hero
guys-
is a lot cuter than I thought it would be. I'm
Nice.
really enjoying it.
What about the prequel to Astro Boy?
What?
What about it?
Huh?
What?
What
Prequel
about
to Astro-
Baruto?
You know, prequel to Astro Boy that's airing this season.
No one's watching it.
What about not exactly incest but kind of incest
Hey.
show?
The show would be,
What about
like most shows would be better if it was actually incest.
listen, fuck Astro Boy. What about Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot? That is the best Astro Boy inspired show that's ever been made.
What
Steve never stops talking about this.
Listen, when does Rusty the Boy Robot find out that Big Guy isn't actually a big guy?
He never does.
Then there's
When
no
does
point
he
to the
say
show.
this can't be happening? I'm in charge.
Apparently,
here.
the comic that's based on is like really violent and shit. It's like not for kids. But it was a good show.
See, it's a deconstruction of the boy adventurer genre.
Is this like some Canadian thing, like Monster?
No, it was like a cartoon that aired on like Fox Kids like 20 years ago.
Is this
It was,
Beetleborgs?
it was
Steve?
about like an Astro Boy, and then you had the big guy, who was everyone thought he was a robot, but was actually like a guy piloting a mech.
Whoa.
So,
It sounds
so
vaguely familiar
Rusty
to
looked
me.
up to the big guy, but he could never find out that he wasn't a real robot.
Whoa.
It was a good show. They fought aliens and shit.
That's
All right.
all Steve needs for the 10 out of 10.
Our final questions come from a user whose name is Directed by M. Knight. And I'm not sure which one of you is this, but I'm sure we'll find out by the end of these questions.
I still
So-
maintain it's Frank.
He says, made an account, and I have a few questions. First question, why has it been so long since the last video game podcast? I like the anime podcast, but I missed these ones.
What?
He wants to know, like, why we haven't done a Sonic Board podcast in so long.
No, he
Video
doesn't.
games fucking suck.
He doesn't actually want to know that. And that's what's so bizarre about this.
That's what's so insane about this.
Why would someone make an account to ask that question?
And the thing is, they're not going to see that questions are available unless they are already browsing the boards.
Yeah,
already have-
right.
Who is this
To be
mysterious
fair-
person?
Like 8 months ago, I got a reply on Twitter asking why we hadn't done a Sonic Board podcast in
That
a long
is
time.
true.
Huh.
Really makes me think.
I mean, if this is legit, then thank you.
Are they like?
Well, see, I don't think it is. When you hear the next question, he says, "Does Kenny stay in character even when off the podcast?" I always think he's just kidding, but sometimes he seems serious.
Oh my god.
like
I can
That's
assure
a great
you-
question.
I can assure all our listeners, Kenny is exactly the same on and off the podcast.
Yeah, he is always in character. He's a method actor.
That's his secret. He's always angry.
Poor Kenny.
Well, I think around like 2010, he started slipping into his character. And since
Yeah, I
then,
miss
he's never
fun
the
Kenny.
same.
Like I posted that picture in the CT and tagged him, and he's just like, "What?" And then I explained it, and he's like, "I don't." He's like, "Okay." It's like old Kenny would have had some fun with that. but
Yeah.
not anymore.
Yeah. Kenny's just dead on the inside.
Oh! Look, I enjoyed my time with sober Kenny.
The Mario Kart Bing Bing Wahoo noises at Target were the final straw.
Oh shit.
Can we blame this on Mule? Did Mule ruin Kenny?
I'm all for piling onto Mule, but I don't think that this was him. I think that this was certainly Mule contributed to it, but
Working at Target didn't help either.
yeah, life in general just took a big dump on Kenny.
Poor Kenny.
Wow, guys. You're going to say that recorded on the podcast.
Kenny's not
He's
going
not
to
gonna
listen
listen to
this.
this.
Oh my God, I quoted.
Kenny's
He's not gonna
read
read the quotes. Oh god, next question. Are you afraid Nintendo or someone else will take down your channel because of the music? So good news is Nintendo doesn't actually take down videos from YouTube, which is a big misconception. So no.
See, I thought this question was just, "Are you afraid?" And I was like, "Yes."
Alright. Next one's a big one. You don't have to answer this one. It's always good when it starts with this. You don't have to answer this one if it's personal, but what happened to DL and Mule? Matt is good too, and really funny, but I remember
Hey.
these guys being on the podcast.
Well, DL, do you want to answer that one?
Someone's trying to stir shit.
I'm glad. I'm glad I've been a good stand-in.
Someone's trying to stir shit.
Why,
DL, what happened?
why include DL?
He used to be on the anime podcast. He was on 2 of them, and
Oh,
then hasn't
yeah.
been on since because he stopped watching anime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't been. So I'm having a hard time understanding why someone would make a joke account and ask these as joke questions because they're not funny. So I'll
It's really
answer
offensive.
as straight face as I can. I'm too lazy to watch anime, so I don't participate.
Except for Boku no Hero Academia, the greatest anime ever made.
Yeah,
You
which,
have to
which
watch it.
he gave a 10.
I did give it a 10, and I enjoy it thoroughly. Mule has been ostracized for being creepy.
Yeah, so I'm curious. So the more questions come out, the more on the level this seems. But I mean, I could be getting next level, and I'll accept that. But that begs the question: who would miss Mule's presence from the podcast?
Right.
Oh,
if not Mule himself.
Oh my god.
Well, let me read this next question. Maybe this will shed more light on it.
Okay.
Is there a spot open on the podcast?
oh my god.
LOL, I'm mostly kidding, but it would be cool to be on.
Oh my god.
I mean, if
I'm gonna submit his resume.
yeah, we're gonna need at least 3 references and him to be open for a Skype interview.
Why? No. Email the email address.
Sonicboardpodcast@gmail.com.
I think we did that
if
once.
this guy wants an interview, all he has to do is call 1-800-273-8255.
So we did that. We did that once, and Sando actually sent me an email applying to the podcast, and then I just ignored it, and then he got mad about it.
Yeah. See, okay. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm feeling more like his recent post was actually him getting mad.
Yeah.
At me, which is really weird. I think Sando's a little bitch. I think Sando might be a dumb gay bitch.
What if this was Sando?
It could be.
Oh wow.
Why would he have to make his own account for it? I mean,
Yeah, he wouldn't need to make another.
No, just to hide that it's him.
Yeah, but why? Oh, yeah, well, yeah, because he already sent in one application.
Right.
He's worried we're gonna reject him again.
But wasn't he published in like Time magazine? Why would he need to?
Yeah, first fucking Weezer Kanye mashup. Ooh.
I think it was just the website. It wasn't the actual magazine.
No, Sando's really talented.
Keezer.
All right. I think this guy's last question gives away his identity.
Okay.
Will you tell Frank he's my favorite?
Oh my god, Frank, how dare you?
It's not me.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Who
Why do
else
you have to
would
come
be
clean?
Frank's favorite?
We know
Yeah.
it's not Valentina.
Oh my god. Fuck off.
That really hit below the belt.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. It was too good.
I'm drinking to that. One sec.
This board is nothing but like a group of 10 or 15 people just dunking on each other endlessly.
I gotta
Frank,
drink
I'm
to that.
sorry.
No, it's okay. I gotta drink to
Sorry.
that.
Is there like some secret lurker? Does the Sonic board actually have lurkers?
It does. It does, which is the weird thing. There's people who lurk and are entertained by the things we post.
Oh boy,
There might-
Clyde's got a new post.
There might only be like a handful of them, but they exist, and it's bizarre.
How do you know this?
Well, just think about it. Dillo lurks.
He does.
Dillo, he actively lurks.
Okay, that's one.
Fila
Yeah.
like came out of nowhere. Like maybe he's
Yeah,
just been
who
lurking
knows
for-
how long Fila's been in the shadows?
Right, and there's people who lurk and will post so very rarely because there's something they can maybe contribute to. And I just think there's got to be some people out there who have never made an account and are lurking our posts for God knows what reason. The internet's a weird place. And it's
Well, anyway, thank you, stranger, for saying that I'm your favorite. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry that I took a bit of a back seat earlier into the podcast. It's because I didn't fucking play Zelda, but I appreciate the kind words, and I hope you're not Valentina.
All right, I know we don't need to because we know this is a joke because he said you're his favorite. So.
No. Steve, just set up a
No,
video.
like Frank would be popular with the kids.
What
Got a
else?
funny voice.
Do I?
Steve, make a video and be like this video if Frank is your favorite. Dislike this video if DL is your favorite. And comment on this video if Funk is your favorite. And
What
no
about
one else
Colin?
would be anybody's favorite, so it doesn't matter.
Wait, Colin can't be anyone's favorite?
But Matt is legitimately the only person we know is a favorite of someone.
This is true. Matt
Is
is pretty. Matt's
who-
fucking gas.
Who
Is
is,
this
who is
true?
Matt the favorite of?
He's Omega's favorite.
Oh,
yeah,
is he?
Yeah, you
Oh
are.
yeah, he
that's
did.
right.
He said something like he said. Didn't he say like low key?
Yes,
podcast member or something.
because you have the best quotes.
That's,
Well, yeah,
that's
no,
why he
Matt
picks on
says
you.
some off the wall shit sometimes.
I mean, I do know. I think it might be to the fact that I just seem so like
Deadpan.
I guess one of them is that I'm deadpan. The other thing is that I'm just so quiet and shy, like in real life. And then sometimes, like this happens in real life, where like I'll just kind of say something out of the blue, and everyone's just like, "Did Matt just say that?"
Did
Like,
he
did
just
you
say
just say-
fuck nigger dicks?
Jesus Christ, Matt.
It was a different time.
Did I ever mention on here how my mom wanted to listen to one of the podcasts?
Oh my god.
Wait.
And I gave and I was like, "Are you sure?" And she was like, "Yeah." And so I gave her a link.
What was her reaction?
Well, I don't know. I think she just likes listening to me interact with people. 'Cause
Aw,
I don't know.
Wait,
that's
Funk,
precious.
Funk, didn't you link some cute girl that you were talking to one of the podcasts where you were talking about like
I did.
Yeah, what did you talk about on the podcast that was fucking What's that?
It was one of the anime.
Oh no, yeah, you said you linked a cute girl to a podcast where you said, "I saw that scene of Chris Chan masturbating with his new vagina." So how did future interactions with that girl go? By any chance?
Oh, not well.
Yeah, I would
I
have.
didn't really hear from her much after that.
Right.
But the thing is, Frank, if cute girls aren't ready to accept the Christian masturbating with his vagina side of me, then I ain't got time for them.
You know,
That's how it
that's
works.
fair. What if they wore a yukata though?
I mean that definitely buffs them. You know, they get like a +5 in my approval rating.
I think I've told my friends about being on a podcast like once or twice years ago, and they've actually been dogging me about it.
Oh,
like
no.
to this day, trying to find the podcast, and they've never found it.
Do you tell them like with like a wry smile, like you'll never find it?
Not a wry smile. I just say don't look for it.
Do they
A
do they
nervous
know
glare.
do they know you go by Shellblade?
No.
So
If-
then they'll never
Yeah,
find
if
it.
they did, they would find it easily.
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah,
No, they
just
wouldn't.
look at the tags.
They wouldn't, because it became a more common username after Pokemon made a move after it named Shellblade.
Oh yeah, Razor Shell.
Yeah, no, it was called Shellblade in the Japanese version.
Yeah, I know.
And that's all we knew it by until it was released in the US, so it became a more popular name.
Water.
What?
You guys don't? You remember that?
Yeah,
No.
water.
Water.
Well, like water otter.
Yeah.
Smug leaf.
Steve's fucking favorite.
There's apparently a Zelda enemy called a Shellblade.
Yeah, that too.
All right. Well,
Aren't you popular?
we're gonna when we're in California, we're gonna disseminate information about Colin's podcast, and hopefully his friends see it.
Can you pass out flyers for our podcast? At the fucking anime convention.
What?
No.
Yes, let's do it.
Yes,
Can
obviously.
you can you sign up to have like a panel?
It's. I mean, theoretically we could, but at this point it's too late.
Aw.
I was playing with the idea of hosting a panel at Anime Boston next year, though.
About what?
I don't know. I would come up with some bullshit and then like have a completely different panel from what the title. It
Listen,
would probably just be like insulting the people who come in until I get kicked out.
we're okay. This is probably a bold statement, but in terms of people who have been doing podcasts for years, we're probably just the consistently least professional one you can find out there. Like
That's
most
true.
people, most people as unprofessional as us would have stopped at like podcast 3.
Yeah,
That is
Yeah,
probably
that's
true.
I mean we.
And yet we still have improved.
I don't know what you're
From
talking about.
as-
You are so professional.
Most of our podcasts consist of us talking over each other.
That and dunking on Mule, who the
Yeah, by
audience
nature,
will never know.
I think by nature though it has to do with recording it on Skype.
Right.
Because like
Yeah.
you can't see like the non-verbal stuff that indicates someone's getting ready to talk.
There's also
Right.
the delay.
Right.
So
So what you're saying is we'll have to meet up to record a podcast every month or so.
Yeah.
We have to get sponsored by Nerdbox.
You guys should totally do like an in-person podcast, record it, and then send it to me, and I'll put it up.
you can just like fill in the gaps with your own commentary as if you were really there.
Because the thing is, like I'm on every podcast, so I know what everyone says on every podcast. I would love to listen to you guys do a podcast where I'm not there,
Oh my
so I don't know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'd do that.
Oh
I'm
my
that.
god.
coming to you from California this year.
Ooh.
The Sonic Board podcast redo.
Get drunk in your hotel and record the Fire Blast podcast.
We can give our impressions on Anime Expo, I guess.
There'll be a lot of crying.
You can comment on all the ugly American cosplayers.
Oh god.
Oh, good.
There's
I'm
gonna-
so hyped for this event. You don't even know. Podcast or no podcast, it's gonna be fucking dank.
it's gonna be dank.
Oh, we can't go left. And that's why we're unprofessional.
In professional.
Unprofessional.
You mean our audience hasn't watched Nick Arcade? That one episode of Nick Arcade where you can't go left? I'm sure there's been lots of times where you can't go left.
Well, you ever come up on a one-way street? You can't go left there.
What are
I
we even
think we're
talking
done.
about here?
And any final words on this reunion podcast?
Oh, well, this was the question segment. Is this the end of the podcast?
Yeah,
Oh my
that was the
god.
last question.
Well-
So let us all in sequence take a guess on who directed by M. Night Shyamalan is.
Oh god.
So Steve.
I think it's Colin.
Okay, DL.
Now that Steve says it, I think it's Colin too.
I'm still going with Frank.
Fuck.
Matt.
I'm just gonna say that, like, as unlikely as it may be, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it's just a legitimate, like, random person.
Frank.
I'm gonna say it's Mule.
Okay, and Colin, tell us it's you.
It's me.
Okay.
See, I could tell right away it was not Frank because of the writing style. Like,
Well, I
It's-
deliberately changed my writing style.
it was way too clean and well written to be Frank.
I removed like any comma I could possibly have put in there.
Well, that's how we know it wasn't written by Mule.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, no, sometimes I forget Colin does shit like this. Like the second Steve said it, I was like, wait a minute. That's it. Because Colin wasn't really speculating on it at all. He was just sitting there all quiet, like, I got him,
Oh yeah.
motherfucker.
I mean, there was a time where he made that horrible screech-like noise
That was so funny.
The indecipherable bird noise.
that only I caught. That he blamed on Frank.
Yeah, you guys totally bought it.
He claimed it was me for like a week.
Times Colin acted like the Joker.
I'm here having like an existential crisis, thinking like, what the hell is happening?
You're completely right, DL. There's literally like not a single joke in that entire thing.
What was the point?
What was the point to any of this?
Are you
I
gonna
hope
do an
it's not.
E3 one?
the point was to drum up hype for the E3/California podcast, whichever comes.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I wanted to do an E3 podcast last year, but you guys were like, I don't want to. There's nothing I want to talk about. So
Did we not do one?
What happened?
we didn't do one.
That we all basically had the exact same opinions on everything.
And it was just really like E3 last year was just really fucking dull.
We all said, yeah, Zelda looks really good. The new God of War looks like a piece of shit that's just chasing trends. And
that shitty zombie game by Sony looks like a shitty zombie game.
We haven't even heard anything about that, have we?
Days Gone?
No.
Yeah, that's completely disappeared.
Hey, you know, remember Shenmue 3?
Oh my god.
What happened to that?
What was that?
Shenmue 3?
Shenmue 3.
Oh, yeah.
What about
Did you guys in the past couple days there was like something from Square Enix saying they were hiring for development on Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Oh my god.
Oh, did you see the 3 years or so?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to play Final Fantasy VII Remake on my PlayStation 6.
I think both like the most incompetent guy to ever somehow arise to a prominent position in like game development.
Fucking Nomura.
He's so bad. He's awful.
Can't wait to play Kingdom Hearts 3 on my PlayStation 5. And then Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Dream Drop Distance
Unbirthed by Sleep.
Oh, no. How many Kingdom Hearts
Remix 2.5 HD.
It's like it's not even Kingdom Hearts 3 because all these other Kingdom Hearts spin-offs are hardly spin-offs. They're still like expansions on the Kingdom Hearts gameplay.
I mean, some of them are spin-offs, like, you know, fucking, like, Coded. Like, who gives a fuck?
Frank's got a very strong opinion on this.
Yeah, I mean, like, Dream Drop Distance is, like, obviously supposed to be, like, a bridge game between, like, I guess, Birth by Sleep and 3. But, like, Coded, like, no one cares. Like, 358/2, like, who gives a flying fuck? Like,
No one's got time for that, man.
Yeah, but isn't it cool that Mickey is fighting Sephiroth?
Yeah, it's so sick, man.
We have to stop the darkness.
Remember when Goofy fucking died?
Goofy died?
They scared you into thinking that Goofy died in 2.
It was a very dark moment.
Did
Yeah,
Max die?
Max isn't in the games.
Remember they
Like,
gave
he did like his little scream when he died too. He was like,
Are those Goofy fetishists in the game?
Oh my
I
God.
have a legitimate question. What is Goofy's last name?
Goof.
Really?
Is it really?
It's yeah. They've noted multiple times that his son Max is named Max Goof.
Max Goof.
This is the lore, boys.
So who's Max's mother?
She passed
Dead.
away.
Goofy is an ironically tragic character.
His full name is Goofy Goof. His
Yeah.
other names include Dippy Dog, George Geef, Gigi Geef, Gigi Goof, Super Goof, Goof, Mr. G, Johnny Eyeball, Jacob Marley, Goofus D Dog, Mr. Goof, Sport Goofy, Daddy by Goofy Jr., Mr. Walker, Mr. Wheeler, Gondolier Goofy, James Goof, Uncle Goofy, and Goofball.
Oh god, I'm dying.
Oh my god.
Who sat there and typed that up?
No. What
It's
about
a big place.
Pete?
What about him?
What's his
What's his last name? Let's see.
Are you on the Goof Troop wiki?
I'm on the Disney wiki.
Oh my god.
Pete, his other names you're looking for?
Yeah.
Let's see. His full name is Peter Pete in Goof Troop, and
course it-
in the comics his name is Percy P. Percival. All right,
That's
so
his
his aliases: Pegleg Pete, Big Bad Pete, Black Pete,
Enough.
Captain Justice, Captain
Enough.
Guard. No,
A pirate kidnapping. All right, we gotta end this.
Black Pete.
Isn't that racist?
Wait.
Dutch
his
character?
name is one of his aliases is Sylvester Macaroni.
No!
Tom
It's a great name.
Tom Ado Caesar
Wait a
salad.
minute, Frank, we didn't get to talk about season 5 of Samurai Jack.
Oh, it was the first 3 episodes were Kino. Episode 4 was pretty neat artistically. The rest of them all sucked.
Wow, all sucked, really.
I mean, 5 was pretty bad. 6 was okay. 7 was decent. 8 was when it started to go downhill. 9 was pretty boring, and the finale was underwhelming.
I mostly agree, but I don't feel like I disliked it overall.
I mean, if it had had a more satisfying conclusion, like the conclusion kind of like discolored my
It
whole
did not
opinion of
stick the landing at all.
Yeah, it absolutely did. Well, I mean, especially compared to the first 3 episodes, I don't know what happened. I don't know why they dropped the ball so hard.
I basically think of it as like the first 3 episodes were basically Samurai Jack as you remembered it,
Mhm.
whereas like the rest were more like the mediocre episodes from Samurai Jack.
but like, what was with that finale though? I mean, it definitely could have benefited from another 20 minutes
You
at
probably
least.
shouldn't spoil it.
What's up?
You know,
I mean, yeah, I guess it's been like only a little over a week.
What
But-
about that
remember
part
Gurren
where
Lagann?
Jack had sex with that girl?
He didn't. Sorry.
Yeah.
He basically did.
I mean, for cartoon standards, I guess.
They were
It's on
massive.
Adult Swim now. They can do that kind of stuff.
Omega feels very strongly about it.
I can finally take Samurai Jack seriously.
when are we gonna get the reboot of Dexter's Lab?
Oh my god.
Never, because the voice actress died.
Is this the one where Dee Dee dies?
It's the one where Dee Dee becomes a slut.
Hey.
Did anybody
Yeah,
ever
fucking
read? Okay,
DL,
you know what? I
you know.
can't say it.
What was that, Matt?
I just suddenly remembered that like terrible, like somehow well drawn comic series that like takes all like these old cartoon characters and puts them in like the super edgy like
Oh
giant
yeah.
universe
I read
on
the shit out
Snap,
of that when I was a
on-
kid. Yeah.
on like Snafu. I think it was like on Snafu was the comic website.
Yep.
Okay, so I remember getting to the Atomic Betty part and being like, I'm out, boys.
I read a lot of that. I was like 12, but I read a lot of that. We should just like dedicate a podcast entirely to shitty webcomics we read as a kid.
Oh no. Oh no. I used to have like, I don't know, 6 or 7 that I had to keep up with every week, and it was a fucking job. It was so much work to like, some updated on like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, some were 2 days a week, 1 day a week, and I have to click through them all. Like, what the
Can we
hell?
all agree that Concerned is the best webcomic? I don't even
I don't know what that
anybody
is.
knows what
Yes.
Which one is that? It sounds familiar.
It's the one that's based off of Half-Life 2.
Oh no. No, we can't.
Gordon Froman. DL, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's like webcomic, you know.
I didn't read it when I was younger, but Ronnie has to be up there.
Womp.
Yes.
I don't think
I
you were around when you were younger.
What was that? No, it wasn't. But like the general tone of this conversation is things that were around when we were younger. Like modern webcomics are like whatever, you know. They're a different thing, I think, than webcomics from 12 years ago.
Definitely.
I remember there was one about like a bunch of lesbians or something.
That's right, Matt.
Frank's ears just perked up.
Yeah, it's like it's like, wait, what's that anime where she shows a belly?
I still say
All right.
it's good.
We're done.
All right,
We're done.
wait. Can I just say one more thing?
Yes.
Women deserve women-only spaces because the world is a men's-only space.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
everyone.